What time does 6-on-6 start? Is it starting in like 8 minutes? Is it starting at the top of the hour?
No, I mean, I'm just thinking of the BDS, like, it's picking poison, right? It's theme park, or it was going to be Villa. Probably both not looking particularly happy again. All season long, they banned away theme park. They played it twice, they've lost it twice. It's just not a pretty situation for them. But let's see if that gun skill
It does start in 8 minutes, okay. Yeah, I kind of wanted to schedule around 6-on-6, but at the same time, I want to do 8 hours or 9 hours of VOD review today, so I don't got time for that. We're gonna have to overlap. But if you guys want to go watch 6-on-6, like, go ahead. We'll be here. I do usually watch 6-on-6. Obviously, it's a great podcast. 9 hours. Yes, sir. Let's jump into this. Aviator Games being brought. Interesting, a 6 over to the IQ from a Zof. I don't see why you would ever do that when looking at this lineup, at least. When I think of Russian teams switching between slapping everyone and then not hitting shots, I think for Virtus Pro, they're just, like, not that good. They're kind of just, like, somebody once in my chat called them the oxygen of Europe, which I thought was pretty fitting. And Empire are just, like, have improved significantly from Stage 1. And they look very, very strong right now. I don't know what was wrong with Empire in Stage 1. I think Empire has been a really good team that were kind of in a slump, maybe. And now they're out of it. And I don't think there's any indication that they'll fall back into that slump. So this is definitely a mix of, like, drone denial and utility dump. I'm gonna call it a drone denial style hold, even though, I mean, like, Alems is gonna be really utilizing those drone denials. I don't know if he's got any mute jammers with him. Probably not a crazy amount. What the fuck's going on? Jess is excited about something. I'm not sure what it is. Oh well. Alright, so there is still a lot of utility here. They're going to want to clear 5 bulletproof gadgets to be countered by 4 explosives. Keep in mind, this is pre-patch. So Ashe has flashbangs. Wamai will have shields. Other changes. And this is a really close game, so stick around for this. And I think this game is promising for Virtus Pro. You know, because I think VP are kind of not the favorites heading into Invite. But this is a really strong game for them. Now, they've already used one of those Ashe charges to destroy a Vulcan. You love to see that. There's still a Vulcan at the top of the stairs. There goes the second Ashe charge. I'm not sure what it was hitting. I think it just got something down below, perhaps a mute jammer. You've still got a Banshee in study. I don't see any more Banshees, but I'm sure there's somewhere. We haven't really dealt with the Lems on the roam either. Milan is looking to get that shield. I like the utility clear already from Virtus Pro. There goes the Vulcan. Excellently done. Looking good so far. Is this the game where BDS use a Maru? I know exactly the game you're talking about. This is not that game. I'm pretty sure this is not that game. I think that was later on in the same tournament. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it was this game. Okay, well, I was really liking the push from Virtus Pro there until everybody died. That was looking pretty good until the whole fucking team just died. I guess it took them a little bit too long, and then BDS got kind of impatient and started swinging on shit.
you in. They used a lot of utility from below, which just make sure that you don't have to deal with those ADSs. We speak about in multiple maps. Oregon is one of them, top floor. A lot of people like to go below and deal with the shields that way.
Cool.
But you
Great, great hold.
magnets, etc.
I love that decision to swing out, just like at the very end. It's really not expected by VP for BDS to get aggressive in that fashion that they did. But BDS were so coordinated and they all swung like together. Worked perfectly. I thought that was really, really cool. I like that. We got a trophy stat. And 4 C4s is a lot of C4s. This looks more like a utility dump style hold.
Let's go for the EU 6 major BDS versus Virtus Pro EU France R6H BDS Power. Man, I wonder which team they're supporting, Jess.
And it is Wag's birthday again.
I'll get back to you later once I work out exactly which team I think.
Yeah, it's the next game, and we won't be watching that match on stream, sadly.
Yet again, is that we are seeing the line again. Did we really see
This is the game where Milan gives up at the end.
we did?
I'm not sure what you're referring to that. I actually have not watched this game at all yet, which is how I knew this wasn't the Amaru library attack, because I know exactly what you're talking about with the Amaru play, and I haven't watched the VOD yet, or I didn't watch it live either.
Too aggressive here. We can just wait for when the right time comes round for that clock to start running down to 0 before we spring our trap. So it may be a different
But based on the scoreline, this is a really good game.
BDS roaming down towards Aviator and Games. Choco and Breeday, of course, if Breeday
All right, Milan's gonna come up those main stairs. They're gonna try to clear it from this side of the map.
now you're looking to try and catch up with these drones and the Lion scans.
A lot of drones out of pockets here for VP. I'm just looking across the board. A couple already destroyed, but it means that VP having to deal with these mute jammers which are being set out.
A lot of players up by landing. You can pressure them from a couple different angles, but enough pings actually will just scare them away. That's pretty cool.
Desperately to do was do his role. He was trying to
And the opener from Breeday, roaming in games.
out. He's just gonna be able to
That's exactly how they won the last round, except instead of just Breeday on the roam doing it, it was the whole goddamn team. But still, I mean, the 1-for-1 you try to mute for a sledge, huge. You love that. There's still 5 bulletproof gadgets and only now 2 explosives to deal with them all. So you're gonna have to make decisions. There's obviously a Vulcan in statuary. There's a Banshee boar. I don't see the rest of the utility, but I'm sure it's somewhere. There's barbed wire, obviously, but there's another deployable in trophy. It's obviously a Vulcan. They don't have any deployables. It's possible it's possible Milan got some of the Banshees with his nades before he died. I didn't see. It just would be weird if he had done that. No, there's one on the wall, and there's the other one. So yeah, Milan got nothing with his nades, which means there's a lot of pressure on Rask. If they're just pushing from the south side, they can probably do it with just the 2 Vulcans down. Rask will use his first Ash Charge on one of those Vulcans. Or maybe they want to use it on the Vulcan and the Boar Banshee, but he's downed now. He might have already used it on both, the Vulcan and the Boar Banshee. Yeah, it looks like this Vulcan is going to stay up, the one Wag is staring at. And Wag has a Banshee protecting him from the left as well. Now, it looks like they are starting to push in from other angles. But, yeah. I want to see more utility being brought from Virtus Pro. I don't like the IQ being brought in these situations.
A couple of those shields still being up as well. We did say that what they wanted to do was a little bit of a pitch push at the end. They rotated a couple of the players, including the diffuser, around the bedroom. The trouble is, and I'll always be very critical of teams this way. And
I love the peaks from BDS. They're really well timed.
up the default wall that you will need to get the clear. I understand you need to roam clear elsewhere, but the number one goal should be going, okay, we'll go underneath, we'll get that electrical, then we go and do the roam clear, get what we need on that side.
Everybody thinks this is a different game.
Quite early. If you leave it till too late, you don't know what you're going up against, and you don't get rid of the things you need, because maybe Milan's whole
Yeah, I don't like IQ at all. They're going back to Zofia, which is good. Because they, not entirely, but a large part of that last round was due to the fact that they didn't have enough explosives. Now they're bringing 6 explosives. It's actually not a hugely utility dump style hold. There's only 3 bulletproof gadgets from Rafael being brought. This is definitely more of like an Intel C4 style hold, which is pretty common for Kitchen. Not often you see both Pulse and Valkyrie, but if they're both like unbanned, sure. Sometimes Valk gets banned, not all the time. As long as they both have C4s, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. Pasha just doesn't run Zoph. He took over the sledge. Interesting. That he is. That's a weird operator to not run. You know? I guess Zoph is like a little bit complex, because you do have to kind of switch between her two things on her gadget. If you're not used to playing Zoph, I could see how that might trip you up a little bit and you want like a teammate to play Zoph. But like if you're a pro player, I assume you're proficient in Zoph. You know, like not every pro player has to be a good Maverick player. Not every pro player has to know all the cap can spots. Every pro player should know how to play Zoph. Especially if you're the team's IQ main.
I'm hoping they coordinate a bit more this round to get things done a bit quicker, because what's really been forcing them on
What's up, Jo?
time is not having the site open to do the plan that they desperately want to do.
Good morning to you. I thought the first round was really good from VP. Second round was unfortunate with the opening pick that they lost. This should be their best shot. Alem's roaming in living room. Again, there's a lot of intel. I'm assuming Alem's has some cameras situated around him on the bottom floor, while you can have Renshiro covering intel up above. So you have intel over like 3/4 of the map almost, which is really, really nice.
They know there's a little bit of a library presence now, and that's why you can see Milan trying to desperately shoot down from above vertically. It's about the one.
And of course, there's 4 C4s. And Rafael will hit 1 of 4. Very, very good. Just killing Milan up above. Not a great day for Milan.
It doesn't look like a lot of the BDS players playing over towards Kitchen are really bothered by any.
So Shockwave's down in laundry. The rest of the 3 teammates are up above. Renshiro takes a little bit of damage, probably from a hole up above him. Zofia LMG. Oh. I didn't notice. Wag is down with Shockwave now. Shockwave has Diffuse Kit rather than Wag. They can't deal with this Banshee, which is a little bit sad. They should have the utility for it. I guess the attackers that have the tools are either dead or just not in position. Pasha will take down Renshiro. I believe that was a flank upwards. Up the Astro stairs. Odd that you would throw your Pulse up there, but at this point his utility is a little bit less impactful. Good from Alems to recognize where that's happening, and that's a great C4 too. That should stop it. Really well played by Alems. Okay, Alems. Alems could have very easily lost that first gunfight. He didn't necessarily know that the breach was open there. At least the way he played it didn't seem like he did. And he kind of had to react to it, and he reacted very well.
I love how you said slows to the punch, because my analogy for how the game has gone so far is this is like in one of those really cheesy martial arts films where Virtus Pro are the kid who's really cocky, full of beats, they're like posing, like crouching target, hidden dragon, all that kind of stuff, and then BDS just stood there, not even in a pose, just watching them, looking really disinterested, and as soon as they step forward to try and attack BDS, just punch them straight in the face and they get knocked out cold on the ground. Every single time Virtus Pro looks to go for an execute, BDS are like, oh, I guess we best now press the left mouse button, I guess we best go C4.
Yeah, dude. BDS are absolutely going to be one of the favorites going into SI. Interesting, we've swapped the Mozzie out for a Bandit. That's kind of fun. BDS are really liking their C4s. I don't know if this is a trend for BDS, but in 4 rounds, 3 of them have had a really heavy C4 presence. I don't know how many C4s were in round 2 on trophy defense, but it didn't seem like a ton.
This is BDS's defensive side. If they're they're going to do well on this map. I expect it to be their defensive side. You are right.
So we've got 5 bulletproof gadgets up against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 motherfucking explosives.
Actually, they don't
Oh, I love it. Okay, sure.
50% of them winning their attacking side.
Virtus Pro continue to shuffle their attacking lineup. That doesn't exactly instill me with confidence, to be honest. I think that the attackers they had were fine. As long as you have Zoph, like, you're okay. If you have Zoph, Ash, and Sledge, you should be fine. 6 explosives are enough, you know? At this point, you're a little worried about clears. But I guess Ash has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, never mind. I was thinking old Ash. Or new Ash. This is an old VOD. Whew. It's true, this is VP's map pick as well. They're going down below. They're clearing it a little bit slow. This is the same as before, but once they actually got that control back in round number 1, Virtus Pro used it really well. This is a different push though. Now they're all coming from like the master side. And the focus of this push is not downstairs like it was in round number 1. God, flashbangs do literally nothing in this game. Shaiko is playing pretty stupid there. I get it, he's Shaiko, he's practically invincible, but he definitely shouldn't have been doing that. I think they're going to try to deal with that Banshee. I think they're going to try to hit it, actually, to save on utility. Again, they've got so much, they don't need to do that. They could just explode it safely. Whatever, though, it's a Banshee down. Ooh, they're going to nade over the top. Yeah, that'll stop any bandit dreams. Is he going to get it anyways? Yes, he will. Pasha, you should have wasted 2 of those nades, buddy. I don't know if Wag used a ton there, though. I think he just used 1 set, so Wag should still have some. Pasha got another kill. So this looks good. I don't know how Pasha died. Or, not died. I don't know how Renshiro died. But he definitely shouldn't have. 35 seconds. You probably don't have any Banshees in here, nor do you have Vulcans looking the right way. Because they don't put Banshee on maps, which is a little weird. Wag finds 1, and now you're really panicking if you're BDS. This is probably not going to go their way. It will need to be an ace clutch from a Lems. But he gets nothing. So I like the adaptation from VP. BDS kind of gave him some kills. Like, Shaiko really shouldn't have been that aggressive. We didn't see a lot of the other kills that followed it. But, credit to VP for changing things up, you know, and having like multiple good attacking strats, because that attack was really, really nice. You know, the bandit trick that stopped the vault wall from opening was kind of unlucky, but otherwise a great push.
To say that BDS are doing better turtling than they are on the road. That's not something we would particularly correlate with BDS, especially on their defense. Shaiko, for the most part, is able to run right on most maps off-site, and that's where you'll generally see him.
And this, like, having multiple attacking strats on one bomb site is something we didn't really see as much from the APAC games. And this is notable, right? In the very first round, Alems was on this Mozzie, and he was playing over in the master bedroom to stop or at least alert his team and put some pressure on the type of push that Virtus Pro just used. But Virtus Pro didn't use that type of push in round 1, right? Virtus Pro came from below, they came from the front door. And so Alems on the Mozzie was kind of irrelevant. So in round number 4, Alems switched it up. He decided he didn't have to play the Mozzie, he'd play Bandit instead, right? And he got value out of that Bandit, but if he had been on the Mozzie, as he is going back to now, he could have perhaps been a little bit more impactful on stopping this, like, north side push. So I like that he's changed it back over. What time is it in NA? On one coast, it is 11 a.m. On the other coast, it is 2 p.m. So, about noon. So gamer morning, effectively.
a lot on the impacts of Milan, the grenades of Pasha.
The first map that we've auto reviewed today is always the best map.
Get some pings onto those
I
shields
feel
from
alert.
above. I love
I feel like I know what I'm talking about.
We'll dispatch it
9 hours from now, we are gonna be oof.
I prefer this way. Why? Because you're not
All
going
right.
head on with BDS.
Just to talking about the differences in VP's attacking strats, and I think this is the better way to attack. Now, I don't know that it's going to find more success in the other way. Milan going down. Milan's really not having a good time today. He is not showing up.
Because of Virtus Pro, they didn't have the same members gathered around. Most of them pushing on the south side, although you had Pasha droning in.
But Virtus Pro did a good utility clear without a Zofia once. They can do it again.
Shaiko to even guarantee the trade. And to give it to Milan, he came close. Shaiko is down now to a bullet's worth.
It was good usage from Rask to clear out that deployable shield, that Vulcan. They're going to be using another explosive here. I don't know if that got like a Banshee or something.
Towards Satchery, sorry. Was it Trophy? No, it was
The Banshee in Study is gone. There was absolutely one in Study. So that's probably Rask's second charge. Now you have one more explosive from Pasha to use however you see fit.
opposite to now pushing towards the south.
Again, I think the utility clear's been good. What happened last time was they really got pushed. You know, Virtus Pro were pretty much ready to go for their execute, but they stalled for a second, and BDS took that and, like, got aggressive and got some kills. 5 kills, in fact.
The one to stop him here, and I don't think he knows that a Lems is there. He's waiting for him to ignite it in case he shoots another X-Pyro pellet. And I do believe
Okay,
that
that's good use of a nade.
it's going to stop it if
Usually those are being saved for utility, but if you can get a kill with it, fuck yeah. That's from below as well, so really impressive stuff from Pasha. I don't see any drones in there. There had to have been one, though. And now Rask is going off. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Despite the early pick going in favor of BDS. If Rask can get some shots here. Alems is kind of irrelevant now. Because they're not even trying to open up that wall. Wag is dead. I guess they can't open the wall. Okay. Good cover from Pasha. Shockwave gets this plant. Very good position from Rask. He does die. So now this is much more doable. Oh boy, okay. There we go. Good coverage, particularly from Shockwave right at the end there. Or Pasha from right at the end there, excuse me. Because he killed, I guess he got all 3 in that final 3K. He might have just gotten 2, I'm not sure. But he got the Mozzie over by 90 as well. So really good cover from Pasha.
away from here, and I'm on the other side of the world. I mean, this is how big the major is. You can't understate it anymore. This major is huge. The fact that BP is involved again is huge. The fact that Tampa is involved later on is huge. I mean, these players know exactly what's on the line for them. BP, I believe, is already secured off the Six Invitational. So for them, it's not quite as, I guess, important in regards to Six Invitational as it is for other teams. Temporary, you know, being the big hitter there, I think, for this major. But to beat BDS would really be a statement. If you beat BDS, one of the
I'm
best
seeing really good play from VP.
quite frankly, one of the best teams in the world, then
We head back to Trophy, and this is the same... Oh, not quite. No, this is not the same defense. It might just be a modified version of the previous defense, but this is a Valkyrie instead of a Malusi.
It's all good. Just to give everyone clarity, obviously with
Man, fuck your Newfoundland, Flynn.
some patience with us, we still get to enjoy
How's it going, buddy?
some of the best teams throw down. So appreciate your patience on that front as well. Round number 6, Jess, we're coming into it now. One thing I want to touch on is that Virtus Pro really dropped away.
Flynn, what do you think of BDS and Virtus Pro?
Luxurious picks, dare I say. They're no longer bringing just the one heart breach. They've dropped things like the Honor has gone away. The Jackal's gone. The
All you East Coasters are the same, Flynn.
Rats playing on the thermal.
I imagine it's kind of just one big province. Everything past the prairies is kind of just like
is better for them because
blue.
trying to do at least
I don't know, dude.
missing out on the fact that BDS are just not peeking them. They were taking a DMR line because they really wanted to section off Shaiko if he was roaming. They wanted to just slap him into the ground.
East Coast? Ontario is East Coast. Fuck you.
Reality for them whatsoever. Shaiko's actually
Your
playing
Eastern
a
time
lot
zone?
better. So
You're
they've
fucking
reined in considerably. Now they have to
East.
rethink their
That
strategy,
counts.
And by rethinking their strategy, it has meant that they're just going to have to go with what they know. But Shaiko says, what I know is how to shoot heads, and that's Milon's going off, and that is tilting for Milon because he has killed him.
Closest ocean to you is the Arctic.
Milon's even had 1 kill this matchup so far.
Milan is 0 and 5 on entry right now.
Fine, you want me to call you fucking North Coast?
I mean,
That sounds awful. North
I
Coast.
see your point.
On entry in terms of one point in time, I coined Milan as Shaiko's apprentice. He's this new young rookie who's got a lot of capability and a lot of skill. But we've got to see
Dez is calling Milan Shaiko's apprentice. I have not watched a lot of Virtus Pro, but goddamn, that's insulting to Shaiko.
Getting down to the halfway mark, and Rask is
Based on how Milan's been playing right now.
get rid of the shield at the top of Astro. That was actually a really important one. And
Shaiko
Shaiko
got
again,
2
Shaiko's
openers.
finally shut down.
Looked like he was kind of just fragging by himself over by Master. I mean, good shit, I guess.
Now they've had to lose 2 whole lives. That's the thermite gone as well. Is that wall still intact? I don't know if we get a quick version of it or a quick vision of it.
What's above me? What, you don't like talking about Northwest Territories? I got a buddy from the Northwest Territories, actually.
Don't think so. That wall should get opened up.
Kind of a dick.
But this is not looking good here for the attackers.
It is not, unfortunately. They're in a spot once again where this time down, they're down on numbers before they've even looked at the execute of the side. BDS starting to get a little more bitey in their own play, especially coming out of Shaiko. And I think what's frustrating is in round number 4, we saw Virtus Pro deal with Shaiko on their own. Really
Yeah, I don't think Milan is
throw more players on the road. Commit to helping Shaiko, support him.
playing very well here, guys.
And it's worked absolute wonders for
I don't think he's playing very well at all. Also, why is Shockwave the second one to die? I mean, I know what happened a while ago, but still.
putting things into a 3 versus
They've evened it, I suppose.
so Rask's got to hit the head every single gunfight that he comes into.
Nah.
Shiro finds one, Rafala another. It's down to the last man
The
standing.
kills earlier were way more impactful than the kills late. It wasn't really, like, it was 3v3, but it wasn't really even. Because they had, like, a huge time advantage and positioning advantage from BDS. And Virtus Pro were really panicked at the end there. So a lot of that's just on Shaiko.
What is BDS doing so wrong?
I think if Shaiko wasn't there, BDS still had a good chance of taking it.
Defensive rounds, and
But Shaiko kind of took the initiative.
still think that there's unfortunately not much I can say other than
I have no idea how to spell Shaiko's name.
they're waiting, they're waiting, they're
How many vowels are in this fucking 1, 2, 3, 4 vowels? That's half the name.
Shaiko's already hit heads on, the other cusp of the site. So we'll focus on really getting that planted out. And if that's been their focus, they've only really had to deal with 1 round of planted out. The rest has just been them being able to hold really critical lines of sight and crossfires, and VP is running. That's probably the sad reality here for VP. They get to go into defense.
Okay. We head to Aviator Games, Planes and Games, as Stokes likes to say. And this is an interesting setup. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 bulletproof gadgets. I guess this is a utility dump style hold. On the attack, they're bringing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 explosive charges, so BDS should be equipped to deal with this hold. Why is Therm being brought on Villa? Every bomb site was open for that last round. They weren't bringing Thermite every round, I don't think.
I feel
So I suppose they were just covering their bases. They were worried about like a Aviator Games hold. And honestly, like Thermite's pretty good attacking trophy stat too.
listed here as
Nothing wrong with it. They had a Thermite and a Hibana, and Ace is banned. I guess it's not on the screen, is it? But Ace is banned.
and that was quite an intense loss for them, I think, and they actually did quite bad on their attacks in the last 3 rounds. So for me, I want to see them.
Yeah, I think BDS are a lot more than Shaiko going just pew pew.
Kind of give them a little bit of momentum.
I like Virtus Pro as well. I think Virtus Pro might be,
They actually lost
based on this game and this game alone, because I feel like my issue is I always kind of watch the end of the European majors, and those are kind of always the games that Virtus Pro are losing. But like Virtus Pro have good games if you watch like the earlier matches of the majors, such as the one we're watching right now. And like Virtus Pro played pretty well that first half, not flawless obviously, and they only got 2 rounds. But even a couple of the rounds they were losing, I thought were pretty high level. Like their pushes were really well coordinated, and like when something wasn't working, they changed it. You know, so I like Virtus Pro.
no one passes by.
Maybe they're underrated. Do you want up? Do you want up? Come on.
Interesting to see exactly what BDS's push plan is, but
Oh, you fat cat.
talking about push plan.
You're so fat and so old.
Actually went down. Was that below? Was that right next to Shaiko? Interesting if it was next
Hello.
to Shaiko that none of those refrags came out. Okay, it was.
How did Alems die? I wasn't paying attention. I was picking up my cat.
And he exactly what two passes by, so as a result, he's going to rotate himself over.
Pasha.
Refrags
Okay.
came out. Okay, it was. So Shaiko decides to drone instead.
Pasha just peeked him then from
Rather than just rolling
the map. They don't fucking know the Yana clone. I don't think they ever saw the Yana clone. That's kind of funny.
plans or execution. for the first half of the round. So far, not really much working for VP. That almost
Oh, it got stuck. That probably would have done some damage at the very least if it hadn't gotten stuck. I'm not sure what Shockwave's plan is. Like, you're an Ella. I guess you could shoot up. You kind of aren't gonna do a lot down there though, buddy. I like that VP are staying pretty aggressive, staying pretty mobile on this defense. You know, they're not just like scared sitting in their angles. Like they're challenging walls and stuff. Was that the Yana clone that just ran through the bomb site? I have to imagine it was. Oh no, Shockwave! Okay, Shockwave was irrelevant this game anyways. Or not this game, but this round. Motherfucker was like roaming around the living room on Ella. It's like, okay, dude. You're not doing anything. It's okay. Good roam clear from Rafael, knowing that Milan would be down there. Ras good as well though, and this has been slow from VP. Or not from VP, from BDS. Had some great shoddy boom body. Cool. A lot of play from Pasha there. I think that was a 3K. Not afraid to peak angles, I think was a big thing there. Getting aggro, playing really well. Good shit. No, I don't think they're better than BDS or G2 either. I think VP are probably good candidates for top 8 though. I think VP could shock people. I think VP have potential to get like top 4 or top 2. I don't know if that's super likely, but I think it could happen. Shock. Oh my god. Living room library. In chat, we're just gonna, it's not gonna happen this map, but we're gonna reminisce on the fantastic Amaru play that happened on a different map. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 bulletproof gadgets and a Jaeger with a ton of explosives. I feel like this defense is gonna rely a little bit more on the intel from the Valkyrie rather than hiding behind your utility. Focusing on C4s a bit. They did it here too? Did they? I mean, they're not doing it this round, obviously. I don't have an Amaru. The hatch is opened, though. I think this is... Okay, how many times have they done it? Because they did it once. For sure. Later in the tournament. Do they also do it in this game? I haven't watched this game, so you might be right, Sig. Also, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I really am a big fan of living room library holds. I think these are really, really strong. Teams don't really attack this super well. I'm interested to see if we'll see it at the Invitational a lot. I think we will. I think we'll see a ton of top floor living room library holds at Invite. Because the vast majority of times I've seen this being brought out in like the NAL and shit, it's gone very, very well for the defense. I like that Valchem they managed to spot out. It's kind of a neat spot, like on the floor there, I think it was. Shego's killed it now, but they had it caught out on the drone. So BDS are not clearing out above, right? They have Shaiko pressuring up top, but they're not addressing the hold head on. They're going to try to surpass it by going down through the living room itself. They have not cleared out planes and games. nor have they cleared out the gun vault. And that's clearly a huge fucking mistake, because shit like this is going to keep happening. And this is what I've seen, like, the teams that can successfully defeat this hold are teams that, like, put all their focus on clearing planes and games, get, like, a 3-man advantage, and then just scramble to get down to the bomb site in time. The teams that ignore this top floor hold, I find, really don't find success. And all BDS are doing is they're just setting up Scheichel to watch, like, the flank. But, like, these players aren't going to flank down red. Maybe one will. But, like, the goal of these top floor players is not to flank you. It's to do shit like this. It's like, congrats. You just didn't address the hold. You completely failed to recognize how to push this. I love these holds, dude. I really like these holds.
This was not on that map. This is uncharted territory for them. You know those video games you play where like you can only visit the place if you've gone there before? This was that for BDS. They have never spotted this uncharted territory, and I think it just really showed them. You can absolutely tell they had no idea. I would have thought that the discussion would have been, oh my god, they're living lounge room. Let's take top floor, see how we can flush them out. Someone go bicycle window.
There's so much you want to explain to me, but you don't want to type. What, have I got it all wrong? Thanks, Sig. Have I got this defense all wrong? Kinda right and kind of wrong. I want to know what you think I'm kind of wrong about. I'm interested to pick your brain. Flynn, you want to jump on a call? You can jump in if you're free. I don't know how long you've got. Welcome back, Ethan. Tee up last round and you'll run it down. Okay, hold up. Okay. What's up?
What's dude?
Alright. Let me share my screen.
Bet.
And you can tell me exactly what the fuck is going on in this push then.
It's not that, like, so I do agree with what you're saying about on the ignore of the clear, how that usually doesn't work, and it doesn't work for a couple good reasons.
Okay.
But and your point about going for the south take, like a traditional take, like if you're doing an AVG south take like from below, that obviously is pretty nice. The problem with a library living room defense is you can't go below. You can't get that Arch Studio control for clear or for control for free. You can't get library for free because it's the site. You have no basis to go for an AVG tack because you have no south stair control. You have no control. Like you can get front door. That's a risky angle though, man. And a jump out 90 window, if they are going for a top hole, completely negates your control of that. So the AVG push, like through study, is smart. It is probably the technically ideal way to take the site.
Right.
But you never have the control or the safety to do it optimally. And to open the wall, obviously, it's the same trouble you have before, whether there's Cade Claws or impact tricking going on in AVG, like, or in bar, like. You still have to clear that, but without being able to get underneath it because it's the literal fucking bomb site, what do you do? Like, how do you get into this? You have to either go for a far side, like from the top, which takes way too long to then convert to a bottom, or you do what BDS does here, which is like, okay, here's the game plan. Fuck their roam. Fuck their control. Fuck a living room plant or a library plant. We're going for a living room plant 100%. Now, these vault holes, they do a very good job of watching the entry into living room, but if you can sprint in, you only need to get a few steps in for their line of sight to be completely fucked. If you go prone on those holes inside a vault to watch the run in through clock walls, you cannot pull down far enough on your mouse to get a lock on someone sprinting through. You have to then crouch up which takes you on ADS. So you have to make a decision as the defender involved. Are you playing for the walk-in or are you playing for a plant? You either have to be crouched or prone, and you have to make that decision beforehand because the game literally won't let you look down far enough if someone sprints in. The next part you're going to have a problem is the half wall on the right-hand side. If you actually freeze it right here, the half wall right beside the hatch is your
Yeah.
perfect plant spot because, again, those holes, you cannot look down far enough from them to see someone in a planting animation behind that half wall. So realistically, all BDS is looking for here is a 2-second window of opportunity for someone on those holes to either be distracted or fuck up their crouch prone animation. And that's all you need. Once you in and you have bike control, you lock down the entire corridor through the gallery. Now, sometimes there's a mirror inside gallery, and that kind of fucks up your whole idea of going for a quick execute. But realistically, Shaiko on the top floor here is a distraction. He's not really even a flank hold. Yes, the flank is a possibility, but with these kill holes, there's no need to flank. You don't need that control above. You have no kill
Yeah.
holes in place. What are you gonna do? Drop jungle into a 3-man flank hold? Like you're gonna fucking die. So the flank hold is really just a distraction. Now that's a good opener and a very unlucky angle, but you see what I mean? If you're prone here, you cannot crouch up immediately as soon as they sprint in. You have to make a decision. Are you prone or are you crouching, and what angle are you holding? So all Shaiko needs to do is apply more pressure here, but unfortunately he doesn't. That's the
Right.
thing, is he's sitting and playing it like a flank watch, like you're reading it, but he needs to get aggro. He needs to be the distraction to allow Brid and Alems and Renchiro and Rafael enough time to find that opening and get in. You see, they're clearing for Util because they expect someone to play close because of that initial pick. They don't have enough manpower and they don't have enough drones to figure out what is deeper behind them, and they just stall out on the walls. Like, you need that moment of instigation and distraction. This is a perfect time when he backs away from the holes when Mion's fucking off. It's way too late. You've already lost 3 people, right? Like it's a challenging bomb site to attack because of the structure and the nature of the takes that everyone does.
Yeah.
I think honestly, if you came up with a different attack to strictly go from the outside of the building through like the 90 window side of the building, so through bike, you could hold down Astro window for rotates top. You could hold bike from outside. You could do the library window and the front door. Like, there are more options to attack directly from the outside and avoid that kind of top control, but it's so experimental and no one's really done it that like you don't have the control you need. You don't have the safety you need to do a proper take on the study side. You just get flanked or you get nitroed for days.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I think I get what you're going on about with like running on in, and like
Yeah.
I would like the idea of like pressuring in so that you can distract those top floor players whilst you run in and try to get that plant down, and that's sort of like how the Amaru strat that I hope you're familiar with, where you come up through the hatch, like that kind of negates the entire hatch, or not the hatch, but the entire holes from above. So like you get the plant down, which is really nice, but like. And all the times that I've seen this bomb site, I feel like when I've seen teams attempt to do this where they like rush in through the like library walls, they really aren't finding success. The best like take I saw of this was a push in through study where like they didn't get C4'd or anything from below. They didn't get fucked from like the workshop or whatever it's called. And they just kind of pushed in through like planes pretty quickly. They cleared up the gun vault that way. And then they had like a 2-man ad. And then they're pushing downstairs with top control, and then they rotated down and were able to take like the same hold that BDS just did, but then they had the whole top floor control. So I feel like that is a better way to take it, and just like from the results that I've seen, that would be the way that I would like hope that teams would start taking it more, because I just haven't really seen this like rush in while the upstairs player is distracted tactic like ever really work, but.
Yeah, there's a second like wrinkle to it, I guess you can use, which is 90 window. Obviously, you can breach vault wall from 90 window, and you can fuck off people from their holes pretty easily that way. But again, the battle over 90 window, the fact that B1 is what we called it anyway, right underneath with that window for a jump out is part of sight, is also a huge problem. So your 90 window player never feels safe, and putting a breacher on your 90 window, who most often carries case, on the other side from your push, like the site, living room, and library, it stretches your resources so thin no matter what way you try to take it. I think the best adaptation I've ever seen is, instead of doing like a full, like you're talking about with a study take into AVG like normal, instead of running it like a south take, like an underneath take, like you usually would for the top floor bomb site, you just run it like a split take on the top floor. So you do like a 3-man clear master, a 2-man clear study. You have one person hold your flank for study, and you get your breacher on study wall. But again, it's the same kind of risk you run into with a split take when AVG and Aviator is the bomb site, which is if you lose your weak side, if you lose your two-man side, it's over. Your whole round is over. You have no pressure from the far side. You have no progress made. You've lost that utility, that gunpowder, those drones. Like with those split pushes, again, it's such a knife's edge of, are you going to risk one gunfight going the wrong way and losing the whole round for it, or are you going to try and consolidate and try and stay on one side?
Yeah, I think either way, we're coming to the same conclusion that this is like a really good bomb site, and I feel like teams should be running Living Room Library more. Like, consistently I see attackers fail at this because there are so many problems with kind of like any attacking strat that you try to throw at it.
It really is one of the more unique ones as well because it utilizes the basement, which no
Yeah.
other bomb site does. So you can play that basement hatch open right above the default camera in the basement and launch nitros anywhere in living room. You can hit a plant.
Mm-hmm.
Up on the half wall, below the half wall, middle of living room, anywhere. It's just like the what hatch is that I'm thinking of? The I guess the basement. I can't even think of what hatch I want to relate it to, but it's the only hatch that really has any use from below on this entire fucking map.
Definitely.
Other than like, being underneath the 90 hatch in B1. Like, that's the only other one. You're never going, like, near Astro hatch. You're just going to die.
Yeah.
Like, study hatch as well is pretty useless to get to Art Studio. Like, it's the only hatch in the game that really makes a difference, and it's the only bomb site on the map that has a hatch that makes a difference with 3 floors of play. It is a good bomb site. I agree.
Do you want to keep on staying in the call and we can watch the rest of this?
Yeah, sure. I'm done.
Sick.
I ain't doing a fucking thing, brother.
Fucking right. This is a long game. This is 3 overtime maps back to back to back.
It's all good. I think I watched it live, honestly.
Probably, yeah.
I remembered the last round with the shoddy, the guy peeking study with the shoddy from Map Store. I was
Yeah.
like, oh god, if I ever took 3 shotgun shots like that, I would get ridiculed for the rest of my life.
Is this, do you know if they run the Amaru strat at all in this game?
I do not remember, no. I remember you talking about it a couple minutes ago. I
Yeah.
don't remember if they did it in this one or not. I remember seeing a clip on Reddit, but that was about it.
I see. I don't think it was this game. I think it was a different game.
Not bad.
So this looks like a hold with a lot of bulletproof gadgets, but also a lot of explosives being brought by BDS, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, so you've got 3 Malusis, 2 Goyo shields, a deployable on smoke. You've only got ADSs to deal with because Wamai's banned, and this is on the old patch, correct?
Yeah, this is old patch.
Oh, thank fucking God Wamai's banned. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty simple, like, util dump, like you said. The impacts... So the impacts on the Malusi, but the Nitro and the Goyo... Because this is when Goyo still had impacts as well, is it not?
No, I think he lost his impact. No, I think he lost his impacts a while ago. Like, I think that was a previous
Okay.
patch. But I could be wrong
Okay.
on that.
Yeah, it just seemed like a... I guess if he doesn't have access to impacts anymore, then my point's really fucking pointless. But it was just more, why would you go... Like, why would you split the focus, I guess, of your secondary utility on defense? Like, if I have the option to go between, like, an all-impact lineup to impact the wall like crazy, or all Nitro to go, like, lethality through vertical, then I'm picking one or the other. I don't really
Yeah.
like mixing the two.
Yeah. Here's Shaiko making use of the basement, just like you said nobody does.
Yeah. That's the thing, man, is the basement on this fucking map is, like, there are competitive players who's like, I know it enough now to get around, like, quickly on a drone. But, like, you send me down there in my feet, like, I'm still probably going to get fucking lost. Like, it's such an underutilized portion of the entire video game. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I wonder if they'd ever, like, put a bomb site down there.
There is an objective and secure area down there, I believe.
Ah, so when we switch metas to playing secure
Yep.
area and comp, that'll be
Yep.
the day.
Yo, bring back secure area to ranked. Come on, Yubi. Let me
Nah.
get my secure area diamond.
There's a couple of frag grenades thrown in without actually like destroying any shields or anything.
Yeah, it's...
They have a
It's
lot
another one
still.
of those. It's one of those hard things being stacked in bathroom as well, trying to push an AV attack or
Oh.
an Astro attack. That was a nice shot.
Yeah.
when you start stacking up there, you're so vulnerable to not even just like a nitro from below, but a random ass nitro from Astro Stair from behind the desk. Especially if that Goyo shield isn't cleared, you've got a guy behind one of three shields. Like God help you.
Yeah.
It, it's precarious when they stack like this in kind of bathrooms. So those the efficiency of those nades and stuff, those are all thrown off quick peaks and stuff. Those are never going to be like, I'm going to line this up and cook it. It's like, it's going where it's going and I'm staying
Mm-hmm.
alive.
Ross didn't realize he was on a drone that whole time, which is a little
Did
unfortunate.
not.
They're probably going to win this round. They've got 35 seconds. They're approaching the bomb site now. They've taken Astro. They've got obviously an entryway into the bomb site from Astro, as well as angles from the mirror window, or from the Hibana pellets.
That is such a risky set of Hibana pellets, too. I don't know why, A, they were used, and B, why they're.
Oh no.
Oh, and
Oh
pulling off the
no.
plant. Pulling off the plant was not
Oh.
the play. That's for sure. Trust your cover there, bud. Uh, yeah, no, don't give him your position by pulling off the plant. But those Hibana pellets, actually, I ran into this last year against Rise in our
Okay.
first CL game, actually, that you recorded. You remember that clip where I went
Yeah,
nuclear or
dude.
whatever in the
I
1v1?
remember.
So yeah. So the reason we had so much trouble with that, and the reason that was a 5v2 that turned into a 1v1, is because
Mhm.
Acid was prone behind the trophy desk, and literally through that exact same angle they opened up with the Hibana. He was prone behind it with a perfect headshot angle onto Astrodor from bathroom, and he just kept lining us up every time, and we couldn't do a damn thing about it. So I see those X-Kairos go off in that exact spot, and I just go, "Oh my god, why?" Like this is the freest round of VP's lives if they just go prone where Acid was behind the desk. It literally feels like a one-way angle walking into it. Like you have no clue where they are.
I see.
I don't know. I feel like that's a characteristic of BDS's gameplay though, is they play on a knife's edge. They take a lot of risks that when I watch them play make my heart lurch. Like I look at it and go, fuck, why? Okay, it's working. Like
I feel that.
they're they're a very cantankerous team. They love to fuck with, I guess, your head as much as they. And that's the thing about them is like there's a couple teams like that that like to fuck with your head. Like TSM's kind of like that too. If you play them enough, they start really trying to fuck with your mental as much as your physical, and it's a hard thing to combat. And I like that about BDS, man. They don't shy away from really any kind of crazy harebrained scheme.
Yeah, I think we saw that a lot on their defensive half, where BDS were like, holding the bomb site. Versus Pro were like getting ready to push in, and then versus like BDS were just like start getting aggressive and just like pushing angles and swinging before VP were
Yep.
really ready. And then it's like, well, we've just lost 3 players right before we were about to push into the bomb site. I guess we lose. And it's like, you shouldn't be swinging that, because if they're watching the angle and like beat you in the gunfight, you're just dead for no reason. But it worked, so well done.
Yeah.
What the fuck are these ADSs?
So this is a fun one. So this is a strat that I want to take credit for inventing, but I don't think I really have the ability to. I think there's going to be many people who dispute it. Essentially, we used to play the South Stairs hold for an AVG hold with a rotate on the bar wall to like the book's hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, in the first minute, it was my job to play either on South or behind the shield, at the top of the hallway, and call whether or not anyone was repelling study balk, if this was a study take, if this was going under, if this was going far side. And off that call, we would rotate shield. So you rotate shield from the end of the hallway where everybody peeks off of, and you put it right just before the doorway so that those three ADSs all catch things that go in front of the door to try and clear the shield, but you
Mm-hmm.
can't shoot them from 90 window. You can't shoot them from the end of the hallway. A nade exploding in the hallway won't destroy them close enough either. It's honestly, it was a nice rotatable shield that you could cover with ADSs regardless. Because even if your person south died, if they tried to like rush south and the shield got stuck there, you could still play it reverse from the end of the hallway if you cleared out south and they went for a 90 take. The ADSs would still protect the shield even if it was in the wrong spot.
Okay, I see it then.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It looks kind of like goofy, but I guess
Yeah.
there's thought process behind it.
It is, yeah. And you can see them now still trying to fuck with the shield.
Uh huh.
You still got one ADS clapping things. You see a nade went off in the hallway. It killed 2 of them, but it didn't kill the third one. And that ADS stayed alive again to protect that shield. That shield is still up on the rotate, and you got a 416 behind it with a 20 HP Ash. Like
That's
they're just dumping util at this, and they cannot get it.
that's value ADSs, dude.
Yep.
All right. And now there's 30 seconds. They're in a 5v5. Pasha's just dying to grenades. I was going to say swinging, but they're in a plant spot. This has actually worked out. That nade seemed like it really helped.
That aggro play on the vault door was questionable, though. Brid walking into the smoke is also questionable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questionable things going on here. That's kind of what happens in 5v5 rounds that come down to the last 20 seconds is you just kind of play the pandemonium. And if you win the panic, then you win the panic. If you don't win the panic like this, then you don't win, Smile.
God damn. Dude, Milan has turned into this first half, like he was shitting the bed so hard. He died opening kill like 3 times. And now he's now he's doing okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to say about teams that can consistently win in those, like, or not consistently, but more often than not win in those, like, chaos rounds, I like to call them, where it's just, like, everything goes out the window, people are running into bomb sites, and it's really just, like, who can work well with their team without perfect information, without perfect communication, and just kind of have that teamwork and coordination, and obviously gun skill as well.
It is, and I think the way I've always described it is there's rounds you should win and rounds you shouldn't win. And
right.
The difference between a good team and a great team is, can you win the rounds you shouldn't? Like, every good team in the league and every good team in the world right now can win the rounds they should. You're up 5v3, there's a minute left, you have 6 drones, like, you have 2 nades, like, it's over. But the rounds where it's 2v4 and the other team makes a mistake, and that's always what it is, and you'll hear Parker or Michael talk about it all the fucking time, where a clutch shouldn't happen. Like, a clutch only happens because another person fucked up, and it is the truest goddamn sentence of Rainbow Six Siege ever. And it sucks to be the guy that fucks it up every now and again too. But the capitalization on mistakes, the ability to manipulate your opponent, the ability to take something that they're handing to you for free and just take them behind the woodshed with it. Like, that's a difference maker between, like, a good team that can survive and a great team that can dominate.
So we got this set up now, and this one, in my opinion, seems clearly rotated around these C4s. You've got pulse information. You've also got a little bit of utility dump with, like, Rask and stuff. But it looks like they're really going to be hoping to get some kills with these C4s. If you're BDS, or, like, any team attacking in, like, a team that's utilizing a ton of C4s, what's your best play to, like, stop this from happening?
Well, one of the biggest things with nitros right now, especially with sound cues being what they are, Smile. Verticality is obviously your friend with nitros, and the first thing I look at when I see 4 or 5 nitros like that is, can we do a horizontal take?
Right.
Because essentially, I don't know how many teams kind of break it down this way, but the way we used to break down attacks is it on a horizontal or a vertical plane? Are we going from below or from above, or are we going dead on? And the first thing I look for here, because again, they're just walking into they're walking in and getting kills, and it's impressive, but there's a lot more going on VP's side right now that I'm worried about than BDS side that I'm impressed with. The first thing I would think is, like, can you go for, like, a library art studio piano clear? Can you go for the first 4 across and completely avoid those nitros at all costs? There's angles and stuff that'll piss you off along the way, like from trophy and through moto. There's irritating angles, but you can get past them. There are smoke grenades, there are frag grenades you can use to clear people off angles. Like, the horizontal takes are doable. When you're BDS, then you kind of just walk in, face check shit, and get the opener. Kind of no real reason to.
Yep. I mean, would this be a situation where you'd probably opt to go horizontal instead? Obviously, VP chose to go vertically, or BDS chose to go vertically.
Yeah, if I'm looking at this, the only thing that really, I guess, lends me some worry about going for the horizontal clear was the pulse that was set up library and prep phase. He was shooting drones early, and that's where my drone would usually go early for that clear. This flank by Shockwave nearly destroyed the entire world, and I'm very curious how he even got there. Astro Stairs should have been locked, but oh well. If I'm seeing that, I definitely look for a horizontal take immediately, especially with those nitros. But like I said, if you're BDS and you have the ability to walk in a room with 2 Goyo shields and still hit the headshot, then fuck it, use it to your advantage.
Shaiko effect.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's it's a hard thing to strat against. It really is. Like there's only so much strat work and so much theory you can take into a game before execution on the server matters. Like it comes down to whether or not you hit your shot sometimes. And for a lot of teams, that's unfortunate that it doesn't go their way.
That feels like a type of round that sort of is one to point at and be like, this is why BDS are going to win the Invitational. You know, this is one where you can kind of point to and be like, this is their power.
It's definitely one where it certainly exemplifies their, I guess, lack of worry about what the other team does, which I think is something that is very underrated for a lot of teams. You know, you talk about Space Station and Canadians like rise to fame was all about counter stratting. What's the enemy team doing? How do I beat the enemy team? And it wasn't really until like Empire in their initial, I guess, carnation rolled around with Room Factory and stuff in 2018 that we saw a team really kind of, I guess, full send into the fuck you, it's about us meta. And it
Yeah.
worked. Like it fucking worked. Like they didn't care what the other team did. I don't care what ops you bring. I don't care what maps we play. I don't care what site you go to. Like these are the 5 ops we run on every single site, on every single fucking map. Deal with it. And that kind of shit like changed the game, and it brought credence to more teams like BDS coming to fruition, where you have one guy who kind of takes up the attention, but you've got enough of a depth roster that they can kind of just do their own thing. They don't need to worry about a counter strat. They don't need to worry about what the fuck the other team is doing. It's a rare thing still, but it's something that I think a lot of the best teams in the world have the ability to do. I don't think SSG like solely focuses on themselves. I think they still definitely
Yeah.
employ a lot of counter stratting, but that ability to flip a switch and just go fuck them, it's about us. That's a different gear. That's a different level, and BDS certainly has it.
I think a lot of those teams that are more focused on the counter stratting and more focused on like that prep work are getting a little worried for SI, given the fact that you've got to play 10 best of ones against, or 9 best of ones against 9 different teams. Like counter stratting is going to be basically impossible to be fully prepared for all 9 of those teams ahead of SI.
Oh, 100%. Like, especially with this new format, it's like in past SIs, you knew your group ahead of time. You could
Uh huh.
do some scouting on your group. It was only 4 teams. Like, you only had to play 3 games and it would be O3. So you could start to abuse another team's poorer map pool if you did the research. I'm sorry, BO1's in the map pool that's been out for over a year. Like, there's no more surprises when it comes to maps anymore. Everyone's kind of figured their shit out and what they like and what they can play and what they can't play. And beyond that, I mean, it's one of those things that's going to come down to execution on server. I don't think there's a whole lot of innovation that can be done considering the lack of a meta change for SI, and the lack of a map pool rotation for SI just compounds upon that. Like, I don't think there's a whole lot of innovation going to be being done here. And I think teams like BDS or TSM, where they take that direct fight, and again, fuck you, it's about us. Like that's especially a situation where you're going to see a lot of success.
So we got another living room library hold, and I think again BDS they've got 3 players down on this bottom floor. No, 4 players on the bottom floor, and Alems is already dead. So again, this is not going to be a full clear of the up top. It's going to be mostly focused on trying to run past those top floor players.
Again, it looks like they
Shaco's
sent
behind, yeah.
yeah, they sent a Lems down or up this time to try and be the distraction, and I think that was mostly just because of the sledgehammer to be able to create noise. Although they did send Shaco on a flank here,
Ooh,
and
I
it
like that.
works because they walked at him. Okay, I like the first kill. The second one, I don't really know where WTG's. I don't really know what he expects to do there. It's very alone. I would have asked for a teammate above to come flank south so you actually secure the kill, but
I don't know if they knew Shaiko
oh
was
well.
there, and there's probably like a bunch of panic, like, oh shit, he's behind, and maybe Wag is just confirmed that, or is scared that Shaiko's gonna push him and ruin the whole push, as he did.
Probably, and I'll give Shaiko full marks for doing what he was supposed to do the previous round, just in a different position, in a different situation. Like, he was supposed to be the distraction the first time, didn't get it done. This time he does. Like, that's another thing about a lot of the guys in Europe, especially. I find that as well, is there's a lot more willingness to, I guess, complete a task at all costs in Europe than there is in North America. North America, there's a lot more, I guess, willingness to resign a play or resign from an idea if there's too much resistance. But in Europe, it seems like they're much more willing to sacrifice more to accomplish more. And I don't know if it's better or worse. It's just an interesting difference in gameplay.
Right, right.
Things got a little bit jumbled up in communication, I think. So overtime is kind of where I expected it to go. I didn't expect
Well, this is a fun game.
round specifically.
It is.
This is a pretty
It's
close game for the
wonky.
most
I
part.
like
So
wonky games.
a bit worried for BDS. It should have been their map, however.
Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. So Mion goes back to the fucking nitro on the Malusi, so they actually lean into the 4 nitros again, which I like.
Yeah, this one's like definitely been, or it's looking like a mix of the nitro cells as well as like the utility dump for your focus. But I mean, I feel like we don't see a ton of nitro cells in this bomb site compared to the other bomb sites that we have on Villa. So I'm interested like where these players are going to be trying to play at, and particularly like what the Pulse's plan is. I'm assuming he's going to go down below, but what happens if he gets pressured?
Well, I haven't seen a whole lot of below takes in general from BDS this entire fucking game, honestly,
Okay.
from either of these teams. I don't know if that's a Europe thing. I don't know if that's just specifically these two teams, but I haven't seen a South clear once yet.
VP were on their attacks. They attacked this bomb site 3 times, and twice they came from below.
Okay.
But no, not BDS, I don't think.
Yeah. So when you see that, obviously, you have the credence to go, hey, they're not going under. Where do our nitros go? They go under. So I imagine this is just going to be a fall off to shoot drones and bail.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just saw Shaiko in the basement, so I'm worried about his exit strat. It looks like he's making it out in time. Yeah. Oh, Shaiko's outside repelling. I thought he was coming in the basement again. That's
That would be
depressing because Shaiko could have cut him off right here, and now they
Mhm.
have to worry about another flank.
Good
Oh, they got
droning,
him on
though.
drone. Yeah.
I didn't
Again,
think
that's
he's
another
killed one.
thing where no, that's where Shaiko again he gets the job done in a different way, and it's
Mhm.
irritating to play against. Because again, like you're thinking, okay, he didn't come in through basement, my flank is clear. Now he throws a blind nitro into Astro, hits nothing, and has to fall off to the basement. Like while Shaiko didn't collect the kill, he still completely negated the flank, which is his fucking job. So
Mhm.
again, hats off.
You still have
But again, they're
Milan.
going, yeah, they're going for the far side. So these nitros underneath are going to be huge.
Milan's down below, Wag is down below. And then I think you got 3 on the bomb site, 2 of which still have their own C4s.
Looking like it. So you got 3 nitros remaining. Doesn't look like there's any util covering map store, which is concerning. Yeah, it's all 3DSs on the far shield again.
It's interesting they didn't put a Banshee on the map, unless it was cleared already. Probably was. Because they were doing that before, they had one on the map.
That's 2 nitros down and nothing's hit.
You got a kill, though.
No, that was Milan actually. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. I assume on the flank, we didn't really see it.
it looked like he was tarps. Yeah, so I think he made it back up pantry into tarps, and he took out Renshiro, who should have been covering red flank. Yeah, yeah. Rafael's now on red flank. So 48. He's got to get a move on though.
He's
Because
got
while
one
they
ways to
like,
go.
he's given the team the man advantage, but by being that far off site with no time remaining, he kind of negates his own team's man advantage he gave them, right? It's static at a 4v4 on site with him and fucking Narnia. So he's got to get going now, and I think he's going through a fucking ocean of drones. Oh, they didn't clear study. Yeah, okay. No, this is a VP round for sure. If you have study control here, then it's over. Man count, really.
There was an
Oh, you
attacker
can just
coming
peek
from
study
below.
and die. You can peek study and peek bar wall and die. Jesus.
They're in a plant spot. Wag's gonna be a huge problem. The Lems isn't ready for it.
Yeah.
Alright.
It says study, but they missed all 4 nitros that round. That's tragic.
Got the job done.
Yeah, you're really lucky the pulse rotated into study there. Like really lucky. Like Shockwave should not have repeat after he got that first pick. He gets picked for 5v3 man advantage with 15 on the clock, no plant attempts started. And it's like, yeah, fuck it, let me repeak. Throws it, loses the gunfight, lose study control, another person peeks bar wall and dies. Like, that's the thing with BDS is like they're almost completely out of a round, but there's always 1% remaining in terms of hope.
I like
Because they just pull that shit off.
Yeah, I like the whole time that VP were like, they always had a roamer that was like behind BDS, and the roamer was always known, so BDS felt like they were going a little bit slower due to the fact that they had to be worried about that like roam presence or that below presence the whole time. I like that that pressure kept up.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see the op difference. So I was just gonna think like a nomad would probably be a
Yeah.
real nice peace of mind operator to bring, especially if you're going to
Yeah.
allow the flank. Because there's two different ideologies, right? That with that, it's either ignore the flank, he's not going to do anything, or go get him because he's going to be annoying. Like you can't do a little bit of both.
Hmm.
They opted for the ignore. I guess not in the most safe of circumstances, really. Like a nomad would provide a lot more comfort for me. Who do they swap out for that though? Because they run the other four the same. It was a Yana, right, for the extra nades
Oh
and the extra
yeah, it
droning.
was. Yeah, I feel like you don't need a Yana on top of your Sledge Ash and Zof. Like they weren't really focusing that heavy on gadgets that you need explosives for.
Well, the nades weren't really all that optimized. I think they did a little bit of damage with the nade that round, but ultimately four nades resulted in zero kills, much like the four nitros also resulted in zero kills, right? Like
Yeah,
it it started off, honestly, I'll say, like this game started off as much more of a utility war, and it's slowly turning into who hits more heads.
I get that. Yeah. We
Yeah.
watched yesterday. We watched Giants versus Xavier, and Xavier banned Nomad every single map. And I kept thinking, like, damn, I really wish Giants had a fucking Nomad here because Xavier had 4 players behind them coming up for a flank.
Is that a Goyo shield played reversed?
Uh, it could just be a regular Valk shield.
I think it's got something on it. Although, yeah, it is actually Valk shield. Okay, because that's a thing
That
back
is.
then. It's not a thing anymore, Smile.
No, now we just have Echo Shield.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting shield. I'm very confused why it's lasted so long, I guess is my concern. Okay, and again, they're aware of presence below, but I don't think they're going to do a damn thing about it. They got two nitros underneath and or one nitro, no nitro in the valve. A
Shield's
lot of
gone.
ignoring.
Yeah.
Shield is gone. Oh, now they're going to do it. They're just going to send the Ashen alone.
Hey, Rask makes it work again.
Yep. I'm really confused where Rafael was going, though. I don't like that Alems and Rafael were so separated, especially with Rafael not
Yeah.
having a nitro and being the only one left below. I don't like that separation on the roam.
I think they just were expecting no pressure, so they weren't too concerned about it. Because I think LM's got caught
Yeah,
pretty off guard by the Ash. Which is why they weren't
it
playing
is
together,
true.
waiting for somebody to come focus on them. Oh, Pasha's got this. Yeah,
You
goodbye.
would hope.
So now it's a total fail on the roam. Things are looking very dire for BDS, I feel. That makes it worse.
That was just awkward. Yeah. Well, these are the last two? Yeah. Last guy up's Brid. Oh, he didn't even get Shaiko, he just got Rask.
That's it.
Well, that Nitro cell could have been difference making if it got off, but yeah. One of the hardest things about holding trophy statue against that kind of push, especially with that, I don't know, it was just like a weak underhand, fuck it, send the Ash below, maybe he'll get someone. Like if a
Yeah.
Lems doesn't get cleared there, you don't have safety of plant. You don't really have control of Astro because you can get nitroed out pretty quickly. Ah,
I like that it was kind of sporadic though, you know? It was almost just like a surprise attack on the roamers down below. And BDS were totally caught off guard by it.
the thing that worries me about it is it looked like it was an afterthought for VP though.
Right.
That's the thing that worries me is like, because I'm looking for reliability at a VP. They've always been a team to be the best of the rest, but it's like against the best teams, you know, those small mistakes, they will fuck you in time. And they
Yeah.
will add up over time too. Like you go into a best of 3 with 2 overtime games, like you were mentioning against one of the best teams in the world. Like those small, minute mistakes that usually don't come back to haunt you in a scrim or against a lesser team, like they get fucking exemplified against a team like BDS.
Very true, very true.
2 hard breachers banned on club. I like it. We're fucking, although we're leaving Thatcher up with a therm and a old hib. Okay.
So attacks are probably going to be not too hindered by that if you've got the Thatcher.
If the last defensive ban is a Cade, then we're in a very old school style of club. If it doesn't end up being Cade, then I don't know. No Mav. The Thatcher's going to be nice for the Cade, but
Yeah.
there's still tricking that can be done. It's not a Cade ban, it's a Valk ban. Okay. That is actually not something I would have expected out of Europe as well.
A
Is
Valk
the
ban?
lack of the lack of the Thatcher ban. I think the concern for the Thatcher being up. I don't know. I don't want to say that it's all an NA thing, but I haven't seen a Thatcher on club in a very long time.
I mean, Verge Pro banned first for the for the Ace. Do you think that BDS just feel that they are less comfortable on Maverick than somebody on VP might be?
I think we've seen BDS use Mav pretty well in the past. So unless that's like a recent change, it could be honestly. Like teams can fucking have one bad scrim with an op and go, no, we're not doing that again. Like it could have been something I saw like the night before, a week ago, something like that before this game. Like maybe. I think I've seen them use the Mav plenty of times before to decent effect. So I don't think it's a long-standing issue. I think honestly, safety is another thing that you worry about, and not running the Nomad on the side of BDS last game on Villa tends to, I guess, bleed over into other maps. So if BDS is going to play like that, like a Mav sitting on a hatch with a Cade on it for a while, a lot more vulnerable than a dude throwing an EMP from half a mile away.
Yeah. I feel like I hate this defensive operator lineup. I don't really see the point of it. You're not going for a full, like, drone
Oh
denial
God, what
roam.
was it?
You're not going for very much utility dump. There's not a great, like, roaming presence. I feel like I just always hate Legion. I don't know. I'm not sold on
So
Legion.
I guess my only question is what was available? Like, is this old Hib or new Hib?
This is old Hibana.
Then I don't understand the 6 impacts. If it was new Hib, I have had a team run 6 impacts against me on new Hib on club. So like
Yeah.
that's a thing. Old Hib though, I mean, and there's no ace either. I don't. So confused. What the fuck you need 6 impacts for?
I feel like I'd much
Like
rather have, like, a Malusi or something here.
the alternatives are a BP, barbed wire. So I mean, not the greatest of options in terms of alternatives for those exact operators, but I agree with you as well. The operators are, these feel like very comfort picks.
Yeah.
It is a roam, so I guess you want to be comfortable on the run. There's just so much more utility I would have taken to help. Like a mute Mozzie would have been nice, especially without the Yana being brought from BDS. Like that's a very typical one. You see a castle being brought a lot, and there is a sledge on the side of Rafael, although Shaiko's opener is Hibana. That's okay.
Well,
You know, you can bitch and moan about the setup all you want, but if you open onto Shaiko on Hibana, I mean, like you've kind of got the round. So
yeah, that is.
They fucked this up. That's pretty impressive.
What do you use your exothermic charges on now?
Well, I think with a roam here at this point, losing the Hib, I don't know why we're even entertaining the clear of the roam still. I would have probably bailed out to a kitchen dirt about an hour ago, but the problem with Rask above is that he can have Logi control, and your kitchen control isn't going to be reliable. You can flex this to a blue dirt pretty easily, though, and avoid the top control. This roam clear is taking a long time. You've already lost a lot for it. I'd probably... Yeah, I would have bailed out a while ago. I don't think I continue pushing that with my Hibana being opener in the middle of nowhere.
You gotta question Shaiko a little bit. How did that even happen? I mean, we didn't see it, but...
I'm gonna assume... Okay, he knows you're there. Just shoot. Thank you. I'm gonna assume it was a missed call on a drone, but I also have to make the assumption that it was some crazy peek or like a better play by Milan, because I can't even imagine a situation where Shaiko's first in the building on
Right.
Hibana on Clubhouse with 2 other hard breachers banned.
But he was on main stairs and he killed him in like bar, didn't he? I mean, that's where he was looking. Maybe he killed him
I
at like the kitchen hall.
I didn't see where the body was, but I
Yeah,
did see what you're talking about with him being like looking pool table. I don't fucking know.
looking for the body now.
Yeah.
No, maybe it was a bathroom. Unless that was someone
Wow.
else.
No, that was him. That
Wow.
was
Okay.
him.
Feels like that's way too deep for your Hibana that early in the round with no teammates around.
Yeah, that's got to be a missed call on a drone or something, or someone was like, "Hey, we have the play, we're sending it," and then the death was
Canada
the cue
gang.
to not send it and re-engage on a roam clear. Like
Hmm.
that's even that is a little playing it by ear there. But like I said, they like to make those risky plays.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, categorize them correctly.
Yeah,
And that's, I mean, who knows? Maybe Milan's not on his comfort pick of the Legion. Maybe he doesn't get those kills.
true, very true. Right. That's another thing that is as well that I don't know. I try to focus on whenever I'm watching these games back. It's just like you can bitch and moan about just about anything that they do. A
Yeah.
decision that was made, a call that was made, a setup, an operator. Again, it usually comes down to execution on the server. If you can make the best out of a bad situation, it's going to put you in a way better spot than trying to match everything to be picture perfect in like a counter strat or something.
Right. It's better to run like a suboptimal strat perfectly than run like a perfect strat suboptimally.
Poorly thought out plan, well executed, is better than the best thought out plan in the world, poorly executed.
Yeah. I like this operator lineup better though, so I won't bitch about it.
True.
Pretty standard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bulletproof gadgets, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 explosives to deal with it, plus EMPs.
Yeah, the
Okay.
EMPs are going to be, especially with only a mute to worry about, like the EMPs are probably just going to be for Evil Eyes.
Talking with Flynn.
I can't really see another use for them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, these mute jammers are just going to be using the cash hold. They're doing a Goyo shield with a red rotate with soft walls on server where cash to red. It's interesting. Double reinforcing B2. Okay. So they're not going to play it rotatable. They're already sticking the mute jammer on the inside, so they conceded Jacuzzi wall ASAP.
Yeah.
So that's one less EMP to use on a wall. They might do it anyway out of habit, but I would probably check that first with a drone if I was them. And it also looks like we're getting cash clear here.
I'm a little worried about this because it seems like a pretty strong hold in cash. Like, you got 2 players, you've got a Vulcan. You're worried about Alem's below, obviously, but...
I think VP's playing this to concede the exterior and play the interior more on both sides. So they've done it on Jacuzzi and they're doing it here as well. There's no mute jammer in the exterior wall, so they're allowing exterior to get open for free. They want to bait people in to come and play against the interior and take those short range engagements. And with the Goyo shield and a soft on the rotate there, you've got opportunities for Rask and Shockwave to like double up on a crossfire down the hall.
Yeah.
This interior hold could stall some time here, but I mean, the EMPs are really going to rip through a lot of this. Like, your biggest worry about the interior server wall is getting it open with a Hibana and worrying about the impact tricks. First, you got to clear the mute jammer. You have to get into red hall to clear the mute jammer through the drone hole. Like, there's a lot of steps you need to take that Thatcher just eliminates off the board on Clubhouse.
Rask might be caught out here. He's definitely in a bad spot. He wants to
you
get
can
kills
see them-
before he dies.
You can see them bailing without the walls even getting opened up, though, eh? Like,
Yeah.
they don't feel confident in their interior setup. And I don't know if that's just because of the Thatcher or if that's just because of the way they lost their red stair control pretty early. But, like, VP didn't even feel safe in their interior setup. You can't play this for a fallback. Like, if they have con window open and solo open, like, it's... your life's over. You play like this. You start ratting out in corners and start fucking trying to get some kills. Do something, right? Like... that's better than nothing. That's your thermite gone.
Yep. I think you're okay with that.
They lost 2 bodies. They killed 2.5 on the clock. Like, I think they could have played it a lot safer and a lot better had they felt more confident and not tried to play for a fallback there. But again, if it works, is it stupid? That is the age-old question of Siege.
Sorry, everybody in chat is asking who is in the call because you sound like
Oh.
you've been chain smoking for 5 years.
I'm
So
on
I'm
my
just,
I'm on my wireless headset. That's why.
I see. Okay, it should be clear on the stream now.
There we go.
Okay. Yo, this is close. Oh, fuck. That's incredible. That was like 1 second. That was like less than a second on the clock.
I didn't even see what was going on there. All I saw was WTG swing the corner and get two. It's an
Did he
it's an
rotate
interesting
from
plant
like
spot.
Logi maybe?
I think he did. I think he played Ring Around the Rosie with the guy who's Khan. Khan walked in to get secure of B2 Jim in short, and then yeah, just perfect wrap. I like it.
Great individual play.
It's something you see a lot more from like the middle of the pack teams too. Is there will be those individual plays versus those rounds that BDS shouldn't win. It kind of feels like everyone chips in.
Right. Okay. CCTV. And you've brought bulletproof on Jaeger. I don't see that very often.
That's about all I run on them now.
Really?
Barbed wire these days it's underrated, but it's intel. And I think obviously no Maestro, no Valkyrie, no Echo. Like you need some kind of intel on plant here. So
For sure. I like it. It's
I mean,
just
you
not
could.
something I've seen.
Yeah, I think your only other option for a sacrifice there would be mute take a BP, but why the fuck would you lose a nitro over barbed wire?
Yeah.
I sacrifice barbed wire every day the goddamn week to a nitro cell, brother. Especially with a fucking bulletproof camera. Ooh, I like the master stretch early, and this is kind of cheeky.
I don't know what Rast just took 90 damage to, but that's not great.
Oh, yeah. What? If I had to guess, I would say solo Conwall. He tried to rotate back through Con. Because I was going to say, I like the master stretch early from VP, but solo, yeah. You usually get tagged up pretty good there. SSG is always really good about abusing solo Con.
Yeah.
Try to rotate back through Con on like a master stretch and pull back, and they'll just fucking obliterate you.
There's some really fun things you can do with Electric Claws. Thatcher, I guess, kind of makes all that shit worthless, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like a Thatcher on Claw with a Kate up is kind of just like, it's an exercise in creativity that ultimately leads to laziness.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna find the perfect claw spot. Oh, EMP. Oh. What was that finally killed Rask?
I don't know. A lens?
I'm gonna assume impact from the lifeline.
That has its own icon, though, doesn't it?
It does, but it doesn't always show up all that well.
Okay.
Like it's the only thing I can think of from a lens because he didn't shoot him obviously. Maybe he hit him direct impact with a concussion because he was like 10 HP.
Oh, maybe, yeah. That's kind of funny.
It is. I would be very unhappy if I were him.
So this looks pretty standard from BDS, and they look pretty comfy. They have the wall open. They have construction pretty much open, I think. Pasha below, I don't know if he really provides a huge threat. I mean, he has options, but he's also 1 HP, and he doesn't have any nitro.
So he's playing those vertical holes that that VP made on for the con walk-in. He's looking door. He's looking for Doran. Oh my God, what is happening?
This is a fun round.
This is a fun
Yo,
round.
do they pull
Oh
it back?
my.
After he nades himself?
Shaco's fucking lit.
They
Yeah,
sure
he's gone.
do.
Yup.
Rounds you should win, and rounds you shouldn't.
Yeah, you know, I give many speeches about many things, and then the gameplay just kind of goes, go fuck yourself. But that's professional Siege in a nutshell.
Was that kind of a throw from BDS? That kind of felt like a throw from BDS.
I don't know necessarily a throw. I think it's one of those instances where you run into not enough control once again. Like the fact that, like, I get that. Who was it downstairs? Was it Pasha on the Jaeger that was like 1 HP?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Whoever it was, that 1 HP Jaeger being allowed to stay downstairs for the whole round, that's an indicator of we don't have enough map control. The fact that you're all stacking in con, but nobody can establish like powerful CC window presence, it's a lack of presence and a lack of control. You don't have back garage opened up. The guy rafters window has a perfect angle on you. You don't feel safe playing there. Like you don't have anyone playing on platform outside CC wall, the main bridge that they opened up originally. Like Lems was there, but he fucking died. Like again, when you play those split takes and one person dies, you lose so much fucking control on the weak side that it can be the end of the round simply because there is no pressure there. They don't have to get a kill. They just have to fucking physically exist there with a gun to be enough of a presence for a pro team to say it's not worth my risk taking this engagement. And it opens up more opportunities. But without the map control, without the presence even for BDS there, they had no ability to walk in. They had no pressure on anyone in sight.
Fair enough. So we've got a completely different hold on the basement this time. This is where they're not roaming. They're just going to play it safe down, hunker in.
After the roam works so well and a clean sweep on defense, I like that from VP.
Yeah.
Change the tempo, change the pace, make them look again. Make them like when you're BDS and you lose 3 rounds like that, you're thinking, okay, they're going to run that back again. They're going to run it all back again because it just worked. You throw them another curveball, man, like you're in their fucking head. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and BDS still have to waste all this time, like, clearing it, because even though they know that, like, this looks like a defensive, like, hunker down in the basement, these guys have roamed on us and styled on us before. We can't let that happen.
Oh, 100%. Like, if you get roamed on once, like, it's in your brain for the rest of the game. Like, they can flank, they can roam, they have the map, we don't have it. Like, it's a nuisance to constantly worry about. Even if they never roam again or never flank again for the rest of the fucking game.
Yeah.
It's still enough. It's still there.
How does Ras get in?
I mean, that's good timing. That's good timing though. Like if I'm playing there, like we used to run a strat like that with a mirror there. Like if I hear the lifeline getting pulled out, I'm immediately sprinting for generator because he can't kill me with a fucking lifeline.
I see the sound cue then.
Yeah, sound cues are going to be like a big thing for a lot of plays that you don't really understand. Like there'll be like people sprinting random directions, and you go, "Why the fuck did that happen?" Well, if you run back to VOD and someone pulled out a nade or a flash, and that sound cue hit him, like it's usually a pretty good reason why he did something stupid.
Right.
The Banshee as well is also giving him some intel about how close he was and how much room he had on the angle to sprint.
True. Still feels like a lot of utility is around here. They did destroy that mirror window that was soft, so that's no longer going to be a problem. You've got an Evil Eye in church still. Banshees were around.
You're getting a plant down though. Does anyone even know it?
I don't.
Yeah, they
Wow.
do.
Okay. That's where the Evil Eye was too. I'm not sure if it's still up. Ooh. I don't think Rask clutches this. Wait, where's the cover? Okay.
Okay. It got ugly there, but I will say I like Virtus Pro's discipline there, especially from Rask and Shockwave.
Yeah.
Rask was in blue and Shockwave was in dirt, and there's a fucking plant going down, and they're still doing their job. I don't know. Usually I see a lot of teams panic in that situation. You see all 5 collapse back to site, but I don't know. It seemed like they just they were weathering the storm. Like that was a round that was still winnable for VP because everyone kind of just did their fucking job. Like nobody lost sight of the common goal, and that's even though they lost the round, that's still a round that I take a lot of confidence in VP for.
Yeah, if that plant starts like a second later, then he downs that diffuser and it's over.
Yep. Like it's one of those knife's edge rounds, but like Like, there's enough there from VP for me to go, okay, they knew what the fuck they were doing. They just didn't execute. Like, somebody missed a shot on a drop, or somebody missed a call on somebody walking through bottom main. Like, those little mistakes happen, but the overall patience and discipline from the rest of the team was impressive. And again, BDS on these split takes, they keep losing their gunfight on their soft side, and it's fucking them in terms of control. Like Rask being able to escape out of blue after getting the pick on Alem solo pushing blue and come back into sight and almost win the round. Like again, that's on their split push soft side. That's just not it's not getting it done.
Yeah. That's kind of one of those unfortunate rounds where if Virtus Pro win that round, they beat BDS. I mean, everything kind of changes, but
Yeah, there's a lot of those rounds you can look back after
Yeah.
a game and go, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me.
This is the same hold as before.
I wonder if they play it as soft, or if they actually try and like play their lives and cash this time. So that fallback should be cut off pretty well again.
There's like nobody in cash area right now. Like Alem's is below, and the wall got opened up, and then everybody kind of left. I guess there's still drones around here, but oh, they're on the roof. Okay.
If I had to guess, that much positioning on the roof and this many drones coming out tells me they don't know what to do. They're like trying to pick up enough intel to make a call on whether or not they should fake the CC push in the clear, or if they just like and should go straight for Jacuzzi, or if they should actually engage. The drone missed the basement
Wow.
flank, but thankfully Pasha just did not win that. That's sad.
Alem should never win that fight. It feels like he really missed a lot of shots.
No, he
Pasha
really
did.
did. Yeah, Pasha kind of whiffed on that one there. Although Shockwave's he's playing his life again, right? Like he's getting ratty on the red stairs. He's forcing more drones to come out. He's staying alive. Like he's killing good time. I think Rask is playing through Conwall as well from Master Door. So I think this is okay. Can we stop losing the fight that we should win on Alems here, boys? Soft side of the push is working this time, right? Like it's difference makers.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
no,
I mean-
Rask does. He can't play this. He can't stay here. He's got to bail.
Shockwave and Pasha just don't push that. I feel like Virtus Pro are still in a safe position.
Yeah.
Not
Well, I
great,
think
but you have pressure at least.
There's a drone on him. Jesus. And he still gets it. He still fucking gets it and walks away 100 HP.
Every gunfight goes to the person you don't expect to win it.
When it comes down to it, man, like 3v5, like I'm thinking play safe there because I'm thinking if I can get my
Yeah.
100 HP Jaeger back on site, like there's damage you can do.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you're down 3v5. You're not winning if you don't make a play at some point.
Mhm.
Make it early, make it late. That's a personal call.
That bodes really well for them. Have they got rid of that evil eye? That was the only area of thought that I thought might work against them. I believe they did, and actually they didn't. It is still up.
Man, they just love throwing a Lems on that fucking rat flank every round too. He's doing it again in Con on 5 HP, and the rest of them are pushing J Wall and June.
Rask kind of missed shots there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's an unenviable position being inside gym with a dude on the balcony though.
That's true.
It's just never your safe spot. It's never as safe as you think it is.
Putting a lot of that round on the early stuff with the Lems.
Yeah, that cash hold kind of could have done a lot better. And Alems really did win some fights he shouldn't have there.
And now they go back to their roam, it looks like. This is a Vigil, if it's the same play as last time. Yeah.
Even if they did have that evil eye up and they knew people were pushing in, Rask got a little bit overzealous. I think he loves to peek. And that's not necessarily a bad thing as a player, but sometimes being a little bit more passive in the way that you use your aggressiveness is a better thing to do, especially when you're down to the last 10 seconds. You can play time. I think VP struggled with that.
Okay, does Shaiko do the exact same thing where he runs into bathroom and dies in the first 30 seconds?
I'm gonna put my entire bank account on no. But thankfully, there's not much there. So if I'm wrong, he's dead, and I didn't lose much. So we're chilling. Same operators though in this room. I agree. I don't like the composition.
Mhm.
I get it if it's fucking comfort picks.
Yeah.
The six impacts, I guess the only way I could really see them being useful in this like this patch would be if they're trying to use the impacts from above, but you'd have to use one on the floor first because they're
Uh
not
huh.
taking a shotgun upstairs.
Uh huh.
No, they're using one on a rotate.
They were using more on rotates as well last round. I felt like later.
Again, but you can take a fucking mutant Amazi upstairs and accomplish the same thing, and they can never drone you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And like, if you had a mute, guess what? 4 shotgun holes, you have a gym rotate. Guess what you don't have as Jaeger? A fucking impact. Oh, you're gonna bail pull. How's he not dead? I'm mad now. I'm turning into Alex. Alex would always get mad every time we VOD reviews. Holy shit.
It's alright. They're okay. BDS still have a lot of time. Shike was alive.
I wasn't actually looking at the clock. I thought it was a lot further in the round. No, that's just an early fallback. That's fine.
Yeah. Rask is getting his shit shut out. Oh, okay. Wasn't he on drone that whole time? I guess
He
he's
was getting his shit shot out. He's not anymore. He almost killed himself with his impact. Though. Yeah. Hey, that's where those 6 impacts come into play, boys. Those emergency escape impacts.
Man, Rask being on Vigil kind of saved him there, though, because if he's not on Vigil, he gets droned as he jumps out the window and the call should get made.
Yep. Lems walks in and trades it back out, though. Now, Rask is kind of stuck in kitchen. I don't know. He looked like...
They should be able to
looked
figure
like-
out he's there.
I think Shockwave was like walking down dirt to try and pressure somehow. I don't think they have it open yet, though. BDS. Oh, 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 that's why.
Does he get out?
Okay.
Wow.
The fadeaway, too.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And Rask gets one? That's just fucking insult to injury now.
I think BDS, once they drone someone, if they do not act on the information,
That would have been nasty.
No kidding.
And now I move here. You saw me here, magic trick, suddenly I'm over here. BDS cannot lock them down.
So you have 35 seconds. You're in a 2v4. There are still roamers on the top floors. What are your odds?
Not good. Honestly, just go direct sight at this point. I don't think they've reached anything open, though. I don't think they have a hatch to go out. I don't think they have... Yeah, like... Kitchen hatch closed. I think Moto's closed. I think Brid's opening it now.
Just walk down main at this point.
That's just... Yeah. It's the roam game, man. It's the roam game.
Yeah. Solid.
Very solid. Gets them their quota. So
Yeah.
4-2.
Both times they ran that roam strat, the roam did a ton of work despite being on strange ops.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the Vigil did accomplish what I was looking for to the Mute Mozzie anyway, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get droned, just in a different way.
But what if you had a Mute Mozzie and a Vigil?
Well, you know, some teams like to do all three because they're smart. I don't know. I think we're getting to the point in Siege with redundancy in operators and the ability to accomplish a lot of the same things with different utility. It's nice. There's a nice flexibility when it comes to defensive operators right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Usually it all comes down to who has a fucking secondary shotgun, but that's a nice voice crack. But there is a nice I guess, dispersion of them. I'll never not get over fucking Mozzie losing the super shorty though. Give me that back.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I want my super shorty.
So 6 bulletproofs and then only 5 explosives, but you have EMPs. It's kind of hard to fit an Ash into this lineup. Both teams have kind of avoided her.
Yeah, I think that just comes to having the sledge and wanting to take the nades as well as the Thatcher being
We will be streaming
available.
later
Because
tonight
I
as
think
well.
obviously what
Yes.
you do here is if no Thatcher's available, you take the Mav for the nades and the Ash for the Thatcher, and then you
Uh-huh.
have your destruction and your breachability and your ability to clear Cades and mutes and shit. But the Thatcher being up throws things into wonk. You want your frag grenades. You don't have the option to take them on Ash Smile, so. One thing I will say about Clubhouse though is that there are very limited opportunities to have frag grenades be super effective. Like Garage Rafters is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I guess deeper behind like the Moto Bar is a good one if you can turn the corner. Into Blue is a good one, but outside of that, there's few and far between opportunities for frag grenades to have as much of an effect as an Ash, especially if you're taking breaching charges. Yes, it's a sledge, but you know, do you want to be hammering all around, or do you just want to put down 3 breaching charges and fuck off and go kill people?
Yeah.
It's funny you say you can't impact trick it, but you actually can, but it's the most ridiculous impact trick I've ever seen in my life. It's all the way from armory, you open up the wall, you open up the bar wall, and then it zooms all the way up.
Oh man.
Interesting that Rask wasn't able to hit his shots there. Maybe it was because of that.
I'm pretty curious on how much of this utility they clear out, because there's a lot with Evil Eyes and Banshees and a deployable. And I feel like a lot of like place 3 and place utility on this bomb site, it's like it's difficult to get them from above. You can do it, but it's like the angles get kind of wonky.
They do, and a lot of being able to clear util on Basement Club just comes down to intel. Like it's, do you know where it is? Do you even know it exists? Like getting drones into deep armory without a kitchen hatch open or with someone playing in there, like it's not simple.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of what I mean by, do you want to be hammering all around, or do you just want to put down 3 fucking breaching charges and go kill people? Lems, or sorry, Rask. Lems will kill him though.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Still,
Impact tricking church wall. Okay.
yeah, like you'd like to have that shield gone. There's a Banshee inside a church as well. Wags on it. I really wish we had expanded the HUD in regions other than North America. They never do it. Nice.
It would be nice to see, I guess, where the util still is, who's dying with it, and like who's not using it, because it's a hard thing to kind of just accuse someone of without the actual intel of. It's like, oh, you know, I didn't see a Lems use a Zofia, but I don't think I saw Lems all fucking around. So it's like,
yeah.
And he was on defense, so that makes it pretty hard to use a Zofia.
I was worried about the smoke charges. Yeah.
True. Yeah. They love the Legion in Europe, huh?
Dude, it was getting pulled out quite a bit in the US finals as well. Like, we didn't really see it at all in stage 2. The US finals came around and, like, Dark Zero were running it quite a bit. We saw it from some other teams as well. I don't know, man. I don't get it.
I'm glad he's losing the 1.5.
Me too.
Don't really agree with anything else in that patch note, but
really, I thought the responses were really positive. Do you want to get into it or no?
I mean, it's just more, why the fuck are we still expecting things to change 5 years later? It's like, will they ever address the utility being the problem? No. Are they always going to try and balance over weapon attachments? Yes. Okay, why are we still mad? Because it's been 5 years. That's about it. Like,
yeah.
Don't take away her angle grip, address her fucking utility that's broken. Like,
yeah, let's move Flynn's head so that he's not covering up the HUD. There we go. Okay. So where are we, CC?
Yep, CC. I didn't even know the bomb site because the Lems is in Arsenal. So
This is an interesting lineup. I guess you've got, what, 4 bulletproofs? So I don't know that I love this operator lineup again. Dude, I just hate Legion. I don't know. I guess you got impacts, which are nice to stop that from happening.
you can only do so much from these stairs, though. Even with impacts, like wall's gonna get opened up. I don't like only having the Legion there as the opportunity to be able to fight back in terms of utility either. You can't really stack goo mines in effective places from there either, like where you can do garage door over and over again. It's using a lot of breaching utility just to get the back of fucking garage open too. Is this converting to a master? I wouldn't convert this to a master if my life depended on it,
I
but
think they're just worried about flanks. How did he get that shot?
pool table window, I'm imagining.
Yeah, something like that.
It's either pool table or he ran out strip. This guy's just chilling prone rafters. This dude's got balls of steel. Didn't work out. Shocking. Honestly, that's what I need every time I walk up fucking rafters, is the little outlines of people in cash so I can see them through the walls and shoot.
That's called cheating, Flynn.
If you want to be so fucking technical about it, Jesse.
I like this push so far. I think this is gonna go well.
Oh, I'm much happier now that they've actually like destroyed your. Oh, here's the flank.
Wag's watching it though.
He
Yeah,
did
he's
hear
got
it. Pasha's taking case to top red. He's taking. He gets away with it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So
Oh
they
no, he
defended.
didn't get away with
They
it.
defended.
They literally died. Yeah, he died because he took case to fucking cash. They tried to go for overwhelm on kills.
What stops them from just planting default?
So the plant default, I imagine, got called off because they knew Alems was below somewhere, but they didn't know where he was until they heard him flank garage, at which point Pasha had already committed. I get it, but I probably leave that to your red flanks. They had a guy walking in wall behind Pasha as well. So you take your guy who walks in wall, you send him red to contest green box. You get a plant down like anywhere in CC. I don't really care where. You can do it on a wall plant as well. That's probably the safer play instead of walking down the hallways. Just go for a wall plant and hold. I don't know. It's one of those. They probably didn't have all the intel. Also, it is with a mute and a, because I think it was a mute and a Jaeger left, and you don't know who's who and who's where. Like, logical assumption is the nitro's downstairs, so you're worried about trying to stick a plant anywhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
I wouldn't have gone for the commit, especially with case going down red. That just never, like, it just never ends well. It just never ends well.
It's chaotic though.
Don't take your diffuser that far into sight if you're not planting. Like, if you don't have all that site control, just don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Well, it's back-to-back defenses that BDS probably should have. Yeah, I'd say they should have. They should have lost that round. They definitely won the round that they won downstairs.
Yeah, that one got chaotic. It could have gone either way, but I think it favored them.
Yeah. So what? This is when BDS starts to come back.
I guess. I mean, this one also goes OT. So VP will get a couple more, BDS will get a couple more, and then we'll see BDS win at OT.
That is a pretty bad mute jammer, other than what it's accomplishing. So, like, that mute jammer is perfectly placed so that if you face check the wall, the red indicator in the middle of the wall will show up, but the curvature, like, it's so deep behind that it won't hit anything on the the outsides of the walls. So they could have saved an EMP there by having Shockwave literally just walk further to the right.
I
But
see.
It's positioned that way so it can't be easily shot from CC window, which I understand. It worked in getting an EMP out, but I think if VP just kind of droned that a little bit better, that's a free EMP to take later.
Either way, though, it seems like there's a way to deal with it without wasting an EMP, but EMP kind of speeds it up.
Yep. Well, that's kind of what I said heading into club. It's just like Thatcher just eliminates steps that people are used to taking on this fucking map.
Yeah.
Rafal's trying to do a bit of a Rask impression here and sit in the corner of Cash and
Posh it down kind of helps. And you did use
It
your
does.
exothermic on the CC wall, so now you've basically only got this last one for Jacuzzi, I imagine.
They might not even convert this to a Jacuzzi take. This might end up being with only the one exothermic. They're going to leave, I would imagine, J-Wall alone and try and work balconies and con.
Yeah.
They've done it, so BDS has already peeled back pretty far, and they don't have a rotatable gym. So Brid's stuck in bathroom. Lems is pretty stuck long. Shaiko has options to bail out, especially with a Nitro probably on the Malusi to drop downstairs. Although BDS subbed out the Maestro for an alibi, there's no intel on site to stop a plant, and that's a nice opener for VP. I don't know. I don't feel that confident in BDS being able to hold this. Like, they should have 3 Nitros, but they don't have the intel to use them, and that's, again, also just a nice shot. Smile.
Breeda's low on time, though. He could win this. Okay, there it is. Just stay alive? No.
Yeesh. Who is carrying the diffuser for VP? Is that Pasha still, or is that Ras that time? It's kind of irrelevant, man. Stop taking it dumb places and put a fucking plant on the ground, please. You're giving me PTSD.
Listen, they won that round. You can't criticize them.
They did. They won it by 1 millisecond. Honestly, if they lost that round because Milan was using the Zoe LMG instead of the M762, I would have cried laughing. Because I think the DPS is higher on the M762. So I think if it literally came down to the millisecond of being able to kill him because of the wrong weapon, I would have cried on the floor.
That'd be tragic. The Rook play from a Lems. That's an operator.
That is an operator. Again, not one that I see very often, but we love our impacts downstairs, don't we, boys?
I guess. At this point, bring a Legion, though. Like, if you're... I can't believe we're resorted to saying this, but if you want the impact so bad, you don't have to bring a Rook. Are there ACOG angles you really want here?
Depends where Lems is going to play.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, part of it might just be they send him on Roam with the better sight and the ability to tank more bullets, but it looks like they're playing 5 on. So at this point, I don't know. You can get a lot of the same angles of the 1.5 you can with the 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's chilling sight. This is...
Is he going to fight Dirt? Is that his plan?
Clearly not, and they didn't even try to impact trick Dirt. So I'm very confused what the 6 impacts are for in this like update. In the current update, I completely understand it.
Right.
But
it's for Hibana.
With old Hib, I just like, it's 6 or nothing on the hatches still. You don't need 6 impacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 impacts downstairs on club is actually becoming very popular.
Interesting.
It's irritating. That's what the fuck it is.
What operators are filling that out then? Like Malusi and Maestro seem like very obvious picks, but
I've seen a Legion. I've seen an alibi. Seen a vigil on site. Seen just about anyone honestly that has impacts rotate down or play like an early fall off of a roam to site with the impact tricking. It's, I don't know. You can do it with just about anyone for any reason if you're gonna stay all on site like this.
Right. It feels like you are kind of losing a lot of utility if you by bringing that third set. Like, you don't lose much utility because you get a lot of other things from Malusi and Maestro, but I feel like you don't really get a whole lot else from like your Rook or your Alibi or your Vigil or whatever you else want to bring for the third set.
I think the other thing as well is that it's a means to an end that never comes. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the 6 impacts still aren't enough to completely negate Hibana. The kitchen hatch will still get open. That's just math.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're just eliminating her from being able to do anything else for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
also being able to do anything else late round, like having those late set. But this doesn't even like kitchen hatch doesn't even matter. They're going for a moto push. This is kind of this is interesting on the attacking side for VP as well in terms of their allocation of utility.
They've got kind of everything they need. I mean, they can go for this plant. It's a pretty safe plant.
The lack of pressure on blue for a moto plant though, like what the fuck are you doing? Like they started this as a kitchen take and either converted it or have really weird takes to take into moto, but like you can't allow someone to just sit blue the whole time. I'm impressed they got a plant down though. I'll give them that.
Shockwave.
Hitting nice shots also just negates everything I say, but
Yep. Shockwave likes the vibrations of the Banshee.
I guess so.
All right.
It's such a weird attacking setup for VP. It's like they only want to be pushing on one front though, which I can sympathize with in terms of the way we saw BDS's split takes just not fucking working. Like I can understand the desire to consolidate forces on one side, but
Mm-hmm.
just a couple rounds ago we saw VP on a different take downstairs against the Roam stack 2 blue and have it work out really well in the trades. So they've clearly shown the ability to do it and that they like it. I just going for a church take there with no blue pressure even. I don't even care if it's one person and you're sending 4 through moto wall. Like, fuck, man. Don't let a Jaeger sit behind Jen in blue all day with a shield in front of him and just murk you all.
Right. BDS are comfortable enough to try it again with fewer impacts.
So, fewer impacts indeed. And Nitro Cell too, which will be nice.
Yeah, it's. I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that the Mute is a better pick than the Rook.
It's just so much more effective in every single way. They also got Moto Wall for free because they weren't running wall denial. So yeah, the Mute Jammers will help slow that down. And BDS was impact tricking Church Wall before too. Like
Yeah.
both the attacking setup and the defensive setup last round were just questionable. And I think they were ultimately just different looks, but very questionable.
It's nice now you've got a Nitro Cell as well to throw over that church wall if they do something similar, where they're like kind of all funneling down those main stairs and like coming down Moto. You've got like
Yeah.
an answer to that.
So worrying for BDS. You can see Alem stepping up round after round after round. Shaiko actually not having the best of games so far. He did have a bit of a better game on Villa, so for the most part, I think BDS are just so used to having the big hitters on their side. Rafal, Renshiro, and Shaiko have been some of those big hitters on their respective roles. But we're not.
BDS have been very reluctant to go for any sort of a roam on church. This is their third defense, and they've been pretty hunkered down every single time.
It is interesting. You see a lot more roams coming out on basement these days on club.
Mm-hmm. Especially with like a Wamai ban. I feel like you could, like there's nothing really stopping you from going for a roam.
Yeah, I think with new Hib as well, it just creates the need to apply pressure. Like you can't
Yeah.
just allow new Hibana to walk into kitchen for free. Like you got to do something about it. You got to slow her down. And I still don't think 6 impacts is the way. I think taking direct front force is a lot better of an option to be able to at least accomplish the task you're trying to.
Mm-hmm. So Rast just finds the lens, I guess, out of position. That kind of sucks.
Kitchen hatch still closed. He's still trying to be an ass.
Yeah.
Because essentially what you want here without kitchen hatch open as a defender is you can freely rotate into like or deep arsenal here and challenge Shockwave as he tries to go for these walls through the soft wall. And your job as an attacker is to get above them and make sure that doesn't happen. That's why that giant ass holes in the middle of the wall where Ash Wall is.
Yeah.
It's to throw impacts and nitros over there to kill Shockwave while he's doing this.
Right.
I don't think they did they.
Wow.
Oh, no, they didn't trick
That's
it.
bold. He just ran through Moto.
Bold, but hey, Did it work or did it not work,
It
Smile?
worked. The Thermite is dead.
Yeah, oh, there goes a soft side solo pick again. So now it's a 3v3. You had the advantage, and it's all gone.
Yeah, that's probably that play from Shaco pushing through Moto. It's probably it. That's probably the thing that decides this round.
They lost the ability to get open church wall as well, which is maybe the biggest one for them here. Burning through a couple of ADSs, no doubt, looking towards a K.
So VP is now abandoning their church wall push, and they're trying to go for a kitchen drop plan.
Wait, I think they're
but
back. Yeah, they're back.
Yeah, they're running. Yeah, they're still going for an armory though. They
Okay.
can't get into Moto no matter, or into church no matter what. The problem is dirt door. Like this dude's gonna swing out of dirt and murder them, or this guy's gonna walk down the hallway and murder them. That works too.
They're all on Evil Eyes right now too.
Yeah.
Does he actually claw this? He shouldn't.
Red pings for days. Smoke. Oh, just didn't pull off.
Yeah, if he gets off that, he could have won. I think he's disadvantaged in the fight, but he at least had a chance.
Yep. That's the thing I don't like about these attacks from VP for the basement right now is that they don't look like they have a focus. It looks like they're waiting for BDS to give them the opening. It's like we're gonna stack in preparation to either split to a church take or split to a kitchen take. But they've done no direct pressure to dirt. They've sent one person solo or 0 people to blue in 2 rounds. It's like they're just, again, lining up on one front and saying, BDS, tell us where we need to go. And that's not the fucking job of the defense. Your job on attack is to decide where you're going, and their job is to react to it. It's counterintuitive from VP, and it's why it's not working.
You jump on in and you get the plant off. The problem was they were getting red spotted the entire time. Had they not been getting spotted, had they not had
We have our same CCTV hold as we saw before.
I think BDS dealt with that quite
You've once again brought a shitload of impacts.
You get to go to CCTV and I don't know what to say. I'm sitting here just bewildered by the matchup we're seeing currently. I did not
Or is this one a little different? I don't think they had a deployable camera on mute last time. Or bulletproof camera. Could be wrong. I don't remember.
They did give away. Otherwise, we could already be staring at a 7-4, 7-5 victory scoreline here for Virtus Pro. Let's see if they can repeat the same successes as last time, but maybe just change the end of the story this time.
I think Pasha will not repeat that mistake again, and in fact, last round it looked like WTG didn't want to repeat Pasha's mistake either. He refused to get off the defuse. Fair enough. If that's how you
So we got a Lems roaming below, like all the way down in armory, watching for dirt in case anybody comes that angle. We've got Cash, Red, Garage, and Bottom Garage being played by the other 4 players. Kind of a heavy roam presence then by Rainshiro and Alems. 2 players like running around the basement.
It's the second time they've done that on the setup too. Tells me that either they've seen something in a VOD from VP that they know they won't stretch master, because like if you're going for a master take through J-Wall and across through Gym and Master, like those flanks you need to cut off very early, and usually you'll send, you don't have to send someone dirt, but you can send someone blue window and cut off any flanks early while you're setting up on the far side. I don't know. It looks like they've seen something in a VOD where they want to catch VP off guard and force them into taking these garage takes.
Right.
I think with these crucial angles now, it's screaming to they want control of garage, they want control of CCTV. They've got the CCTV control of Milan playing down on the rappel. Got to be mindful of Ranchura playing below him, mind you. Let's try to
VP are taking the bait. They're always going garage.
not that I'm expecting it, but I think Milan is at least mindful that someone is lurking down near him. No doubt thanks to some drone work. A couple of shots being traded back and forth, but on either side, no one goes down.
Rafal was doing his absolute best to hold on to this position. I think last time it was him himself who laid there and unfortunately died to a pre-fire. Do they know he's
Raphael's probably playing these rafters to die, right?
what is this swing?
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, never playing a fallback at a rafters.
I'm gonna make myself more coffee. Do you want some?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Anything else? Like granola bar or anything?
That's why a lot of teams have stopped doing even a
Love you.
rotate on that softball. They just do kill holes.
Yeah.
There's no fucking point in making it a rotate. You're never making it through there anyway. Not against an even remotely competent team.
We'll see what Raphael can do. Oh, wow.
Doing a good job of eating util at the very least.
Yes.
again, Jess. Would you have it any other way between these two teams? What a titanic clash it has been. WTG dancing around the window, even
Oh man, he's in a tough
One
spot.
ugly fight.
it's a 3 versus 1. He's got a slither of HP.
He would have died to a fucking goo mine. Close. That was very close.
Oh, WTG, he's trying ever so hard to be able to get this clutch out. He did it last time, or at least tried to last round as well, and it's just not going to
Alright.
I cannot believe that we are going to go to OT yet again, and either VP
Yeah, that round really just comes down to the Raptors' control and being able to walk in. Like VP had a much easier time last time overtaking Garage, having Raptors' presence for like an extended portion of the round. And for a Garage take, if you're not getting in Raptors with at least a minute left, like you're in a bad way. And I think it was like what 40 seconds left, and fucking I forget who it was. I think it was the Lems or Rafael was prone in Raptors, still just fucking her way, eating flashbangs and shit. Like that's when you know you failed at again establishing and maintaining your control.
Might have been nice to see a shift over to construction if it happened earlier enough.
That's what I mean with like a master take. Like if you're trying to split it to a master take, that master side presence from Alems and I think it was Renshiro as well. Like it's gonna deter you from doing that off rip, and it's not gonna make it easy.
Right.
That's why I imagine those roams are there, so that those pre-placed drones that go to like strip or dirt or fucking lounge, if they see someone over there on the far side, that's usually the indicator. Okay, we're just going garage take. Like when you see these kind of avoidance strategies, it usually is predicated on one person making a drone call, going, "Fuck that."
Yeah, you really wouldn't expect them to be the
Yep.
team coming into this with how they're playing against BDS. You really wouldn't, and that's why we're so shocked. If you're confused,
This is the fourth church defense BDS are hunkering down in the basement.
yeah, but I think you underestimate how good BDS has been.
It is overtime now, though.
They have been
It is.
unstoppable, and to have VP, who we cannot say the same about them. That's just a fact. We cannot say that they've been.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 previous church defenses did win,
Powerful.
and this one I think will result in a win as well because I think it's 8-6 is the scoreline.
To come into the major, looking
I wouldn't be surprised again, just the way VP's been attacking the basement so far. Like I don't like it. It just again, it looks too unfocused, and it looks like they're trying to read the situation halfway through than having a dedicated plan. And Clubhouse is one of those simple ass maps. Like you don't need to react. Like Villa is one of those maps actually where you can play it by ear for the first 30 seconds and have your IGL make a mid round call on what kind of take you're doing, and you can adjust pretty quickly with the rotation ability outside. Club just doesn't necessitate any of that. Like it's such a fucking straightforward map, but it's like you do one take, you execute it well, it should work. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why VP is so invested in keeping all their options open on a map that isn't going to give you the option anyway, and really doesn't require having multiple options.
Well, they've got somebody blue this time, which is nice.
Yeah, they had a solo Zogo blue last time. He lost the battle to Shaika.
Okay.
And then the first round they attacked us. They just never sent anyone blue.
Yeah.
Like if they're going for a moto take here, like into church, then I want 2 people blue, 3 people pushing church, whether it's from hatches or down the hall, or I don't really give a fuck. Like, don't send someone on a solo mission to die and make it the basis of does our strat survive. So we're fucking with fucking church wall again. Here we go. There's no holes made this time on ash wall to stop it though, so they're just gonna impact trick from inside.
It's good that they're rotating off and doing the Hibana instead to stop the impacts.
So that Hibana doesn't actually, like, that's not safe. He could have impacted that or not. That was a conscious decision by Renshire to allow that to happen, to hold it. Because he could have impacted those off, but that's his last impact in his pocket. So
Right.
he's got a Lems beside him. He doesn't have any. I would say Rafael and a Lems should probably swap positions here, but they want the 81 watching a hatch drop.
Yeah.
Again, it's a tough call. And okay, so a separated push in dirt is not what you want to do, but hey.
Especially not when they both die to a shotgun.
Yeah, that's why you don't want to be separated, because the cock time on the shotty, you need to be playing immediate refrag.
You think the third person? Yeah, you sure bet he does.
Yeah, and it's because they're all going one by one by one. Doesn't help that that's case 2. And again, I have to ask, what the fuck are we doing at Church Wall if we're gonna take case dirt?
Yeah.
Like, get some direction on where the fuck you want to take the push. Clubhouse is not a complicated map. Like, they're overcomplicating it for themselves. Like, why? Just think about it like in the most simple terms possible. If you want to plant in Armory, why do you need Church? You don't.
You don't?
You don't. Why do you need Church? What is having Church control at all going to do for you for planting in Armory? What do you see? Are there any destructible walls you can use to your advantage or the angles you can use? No. You're stuck in Church. You have Church. If you're going to plant Church, and go fucking plant Church. You're going to plant Armory, but set up to plant Armory. Like,
Church and Arsenal for VP. Last time they did this, they employed a bit of a roam strategy, or rather one of their most effective rounds.
Yeah, that's kind of concerning for VP, and that's something where, like, we're looking at this map, and this was BDS's map pick, so maybe you can go a little soft on VP. But I feels like this map, there's been a lot more mistakes than the previous map, where you can kind of take that and look at the Invitational coming up and be like, well, maybe we are a little worried for how VP will perform.
yeah. It's, I don't know, it's Clubhouse, though. Like, it's fucking Clubhouse. Like, it's one of the most straightforward maps in the pool, man. Like, honestly, I think it should be removed because of how simple it is. Like, it feels like old Oregon to me. There are 2 takes, you do one
East
of
Coast
2.
do line
There
up.
are 2 defenses, you do one of 2. There are 3 sites, you play one of 3. Like, that's just old Oregon. That's just what Clubhouse has become. Like, there's no adaptation or innovation done to this map, and since SSG made the roam. That was the last real significant adaptation made to Clubhouse.
Beast Coast tweet 6 minutes ago, do you really think we're going anywhere? Please welcome our new roster of the Rainbow Six North American League.
Hey,
It's official.
It's official. Beast Coast is in the NAL.
Pozo, Ghost, Rudy, Sippin, and Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's sick. I'm really excited for Beast Coast in NAL. I think they're going to be a really fun team.
It should be good, honestly. I think they'll do okay.
Yeah?
I don't think they'll obviously be challenging for like a top 4 spot, but I think they'll do okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think they'll do better than, like, United Tempo did last season.
Yeah, they have a lot of young talent, which I like. They have a lot of potential to grow, which is good. I don't think they'll be bottom of the barrel.
Fozo's the one laughing now.
True.
Beast Coast out here trolling people. That was funny. Their troll yesterday was kind of funny.
I think it would have been funnier if it was less obvious.
Yeah. It did seem like everybody was
Everyone kind of
keyed
clued
into
in
it.
real quick, and I was sad. I wanted it to like fuck with people's heads.
I was streaming at the time, and chat was a little bit panicked for a moment. Thank you.
Okay.
I love you. Okay, what's happening? We're attacking church. How did the roam go? Clearly not very well if Raska's the only one dead and everybody else is in the basement.
Yeah, I was not paying attention.
Me neither.
There were more important things going on Twitter.
Like Rudy.
Yep.
I envision this to be a VP round. They've lost a heck of a lot of hard breach. They don't have kitchen hatch open. They've only been able to get motor hatch open.
It's kind of nice that we're going to see a BDS round, like, without Shaiko. I feel like the community underestimates the other 4 players on this team.
I think the depth on BDS, like, it gets outshone by Shaiko, but it's still there. Like, the pickup of Brid was huge. Lems is still, obviously, he has his moments where he'll just walk into a room and kill people when we say he shouldn't. Like, they do all have their own little quirks about them that make them kind of perfect for this roster, which is why I like them so much as like a 5-man unit.
Absolutely.
Seems like they all have their own little play style in place, and they all I don't know, it just all meshes really well, and that's something you see with a team like with good chemistry, with good synergy. Is they can make a lot of those like weirder plays work because it's just what they're used to, and other teams won't be.
Yeah. I feel like the depth getting outshone by Shaco is something I say about Dark Zero as well. Dark Zero's got some really talented players, but it kind of gets all outshone by Hyper a lot of times by the community.
I'd say the depth is more present on BDS and a lot more active than Dark Zero's depth.
I suppose. I think recently we've seen a lot more from the depth of Dark Zero, though. Like, I think Eclipse is looking better than Hyper in a lot of the maps they're playing these days.
That's fair. I think I focus on Mint too much when I think about like underperforming depth, though.
Yes, just don't think of Mint.
Yeah, because hot and true to his name, has his moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eclipse is. I've always thought Eclipse is one of the best players in the fucking world. Like that pickup was insane. And then Skies has honestly been doing pretty decently as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I see. I guess I see more reliable plays out of like the DZ depth, but I see a lot more like, wow, he should not have won that moments out of like individuals on BDS. I think like Eclipse has those moments, but Hyper takes a lot of them. And then for BDS, it's kind of like just any one of them in that moment can win that 1v3 that you don't want them to, or they can, they can crawl their way out of the 2v5 with the people you least expect. Like I don't know. I feel like there's more playmaking ability versus, I guess, job security isn't quite the right way to describe it for Dark Zero, but just workmanship. That blue collar, I'm going to do my job versus I'm going to experiment a little bit and freestyle on this like BDS has.
Alright. Sorry, I'll skip to map 3. I just wanted to tweet about Beast Coast.
You're good.
I'm still in the business of getting the impressions up.
Yep.
I know you're not about that life anymore.
No. I don't give a fuck about Twitter. When was the last time I tweeted? I think it was still in 2020. It was.
Nice. What was your
My
last tweet?
My last tweet was about fantasy football losing by 0.2 points before Christmas.
I was gonna say I bet it's about hockey, but fantasy football is pretty close.
Yep.
Canada division's kind of fun. I'm excited. In the
What?
NHL, that is. I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
I realize now why that might be confusing. No, not the disbanded region.
Yeah, no. The Canadian division for hockey is very fucking awesome. I can't stop watching it. It's funny. It seems like there's a lot of people on Twitter right now in the same boat where it's like they just want to watch the Canadian division. They don't give a fuck about any other division, and I'm right there with them.
Yeah, the Canadian teams kind of suck, but like it's still, it's Canada. You can't not cheer for them.
I'd say the competition in Canada is a lot closer than the other divisions for sure. I think Ottawa's the outlier, but even they look a little scrappier than usual, and Matt Murray could be decent. But I think the talent gap is a lot smaller in Canada than it is in other regions.
All right. I'll take that.
I also think Edmonton's going to suck ass, so.
Well, you're definitely.
It's all
wrong
good.
about that.
Don't worry, you guys will suck.
You can't look at the team with the best player in the league, best 2 players in the league, and say they're gonna suck, Flynn. That just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Imagine like if Shaiko and Hyper were on the same team. You'd say that team sucks? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, if they had a goalie like Nico Koskinen and Mike Smith, then yeah, sure, I'd probably fucking say it every single day of my life.
Okay, if Mike Smith and Nico Koskinen were on a team with Hyper and Shaiko playing Rainbow Six Siege, I agree. That team would probably lose.
Fucking hockey or Siege, they lose. Christ. Actually, do we know how good Shaiko is at hockey?
We don't. I can't
There
imagine
are-
he's any good.
There are some French players.
Yeah? Dude,
Like Pierre-Edouard Belmar is French. Martin Kraut was French. Who else? Cristobal Huet was French. Who else was
Altura are going to the
France? There was another
Invitational.
good
They're
one
just
from
not going
France, I
to
can't remember.
NAL League, it looks like.
It's been a few.
Could you imagine fucking Hyper on skates? Like, I don't know the guy. I don't know if he can skate or if he plays hockey, but he does not look like the type of guy who would like put on a helmet and go beat some guys up in a hockey fight.
I remember for SI19, we were trying to get like a pickup hockey game going.
Yeah.
That was gonna be fun. It was like Shate and Troy like leading it. That was gonna be fun. Never came through though, sadly.
Rip.
Hmm.
Maybe this SI.
Maybe. Although I don't think there's gonna be any rinks open, but you know.
Ranks are like one of the few things that are still open in Alberta right now, because it's technically outdoor exercise, which is like one of like 2 things that's allowed.
Mm.
We've been in like dead lockdown since December.
Same.
It's crazy.
It's fun. Yeah, I also don't think hockey rinks are going to be much priority in France. So.
You're probably right. That's probably more of a thing in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Is Flynn in Ottawa? A chat asking if you live in Ottawa.
I do not live in Ottawa. No, I've been to Ottawa a few times, but no. I live west of Toronto.
So it looks like a pretty standard laundry hold.
Pretty standard.
I'm sad that the HUD no longer tells us how many reinforcements they have. That's really annoying for this specific bomb site.
It's really annoying for a lot of them, honestly.
Really?
There's a lot of like pocket reinforcement strats that I can never watch and go, did they fuck up or do they have one or what's going on here?
Yeah. The deployable shield positioned where it is makes me think that it's probably not a pocket reinforce.
They have one behind as well, like the strat we ran in the finals with the double layer shield in the closet door.
Uh-huh.
Okay, then yeah, no, they're not going to reinforce that. And another one in the fucking hallway too. Jeez.
But it looks like they're using utility pretty well here. Oh wow, he loses that.
Well, I was confused why he didn't.
Okay, Brede. Shit.
The thing that worries me, I don't know if you really know if that's door or not. It'd have to be a good catch, but basically the lifeline immediately detonated inside the double door of hallway because the fucking Malusi was standing there. So then when he went to impact the shield and fucked off, I guess he didn't catch that stun went off too early. And it's hard to gauge whether or not that stun accidentally triggers from someone inside the supply room door or in the hallway, but
Right.
it's one of those little things he could have caught and made a difference because the Malusi, I think it was Rafael as well, was timing it with Brid on the push. So Rafael's going to be the one calling that, and Brid's just going to be hiding in a corner trying to survive. As soon as Rafael calls for the push, then they're both going to swing it at the same time, like you saw there, and try and murk anyone in front of them. If Milan's able to shut that down before Rafael can call the push, then Brid's alone in a swing on an island with an open bunker wall. Like, that round immediately swings back to VP's favor if he catches that. But again, it's millimeter difference.
Right. Dorm's up next, and I like this lineup, and I like the attacker lineup.
The attacker lineup's good. I like the Maverick being brought back.
Mm-hmm. You not like something on defense?
Interesting. Defense, no, I like it.
I like Valk below here.
The Valk below is a good call. They've got pre-placed holes as well for a lot of good default plant spots. Not a lot of attention being paid towards big window here, but again, maybe they saw something in a VOD. Maybe VP only does tower takes like they're doing here.
Yeah.
Also looking at the setup coming out of the side of BDS where they have both Ranchero and Rafale playing with these impacts. We speak all the time around the wardrobe wall dinar with those impacts. You found the other side of it, you throw the impact to the ground, you can often destroy the heart breach coming through on the other side. So they are going for this dinar sort of setup. They've got a bit of information coming out of the Valkyrie as well.
This impact trick is so fucking inconsistent.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I haven't tried it, but like from seeing it, it doesn't seem like people are getting it too often.
It's difficult, especially when they have someone outside the classroom window challenging.
Yeah, that sounds like hell.
It's a unenviable position. CLMs. That's tough.
Yeah.
That really is tough. I guess he heard like a sound call or a sound cue to his left. It was just like, fuck it, gotta check left first. Poor guy. This is an interesting Maverick pattern.
What's the point of doing the bar to the right? Are you gonna try to now like cut the top of the rest of that one? No, you're just leaving.
I think the
I guess
bar
it's an
on
angle.
the bar on the right will give you a nice angle from Tower Stair. So if you're on 1.5 is what we call like the landing.
Yeah.
If you're on that landing, you can have a nice angle all the way deep. Impact trick work. Don't know if I
Nicely
hit it
done.
twice. There's no pressure from classroom though, which is why Renshiro's getting this off for free.
Yeah.
So Shockwave puts it on, I guess, to try and bait it a sound cue. Now WTG is going to go down and okay.
Scared.
He's double guessed on that one.
I think he's gonna lose this one too. Oh, he's below now. Okay, they're sure. They're fine.
Yeah. Wall's open at the very least. He
Oh.
stays to fight it and wins, though. That's not something you see every day. I guess he thought that someone eventually was going to get on Gen Window, so he figured, fuck it, just fight it and get what you can. But you lose the 81 now, so you've got an SMG-11 and an MP5 long range to take gunfights against assault rifles. Shaiko's going to have to do a lot of work here if anything is going to change.
Right. That's a good start.
It is. Not a lot of time, but there goes your firepower.
White Stairs is really powerful here. I like White Stairs' position a lot as a defending team. Oh, just not enough time.
Yeah. Brid's got them split, though, and he got one with the smokes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Does he even need to swing that? I mean, you can get that plant without really challenging that big window.
What do you mean?
Like, it was a plant in games, right?
Yeah, it was default.
And that guy was watching from big window, so you don't need to challenge big window to get that disable.
No, so the two things that were going on there for, like, so it was a 2v3 for the defense, then down to a 1v2. The guy on White Stairs tried to swing and stop plant, but he was covered from trophy and big, so he got crossed. The smoke grenade killed Rask as he finished the plant, so he knew that his remaining attackers to fight were split on opposite angles. They were the cover. So he knows he's got one trophy, one big window. He knows his gen wall's open, so he'll rotate to gen wall's possible. He tries to throw a smoke at big to obstruct the vision of Pasha, and Pasha shoots him through it. But I imagine the intention there from Brid is isolate the 1v1 on the guy rotating into closet after you smoke off big window. You use the better angle from big window on your coverage through the top white wall into gen to get the easy pick, and then you can go shoddy point blank on the guy big window if you need to.
Yeah.
It's a strategy to try and isolate your most favorable engagements, and as the guy who's the smoke in those 1vx's a lot of the time, you don't take something straight up when you can take it on an off angle, because you will lose that against good players with good guns.
They're gonna run it back. Hopefully Lem's gonna have more of an impact this time.
Another cam outside. I don't expect that to stay alive for too long. It's a pretty default spot for one of those Valkyrie cams, especially if you can see the window opened up. A lot of teams try and re-barricade windows or doors that they've opened up to do that, so it doesn't give it away. I don't think Milon has worked it out just yet. He'll rappel to the roof. Whether or not a Lems can get a sneaky jump out as a result, or if he's just using it to really feed intel to his teammates, does look like VP will do exactly the same as they did last time, however. They want to get some of that attic open, give them an opportunity to push over towards ping. They also want bedroom open. They have to deal with these impacts, however, and I believe that they will repeat what they did last round. But Renshiro is hoping to be a bit more successful, and he's hoping the right.
So Raphael's roaming down with the Lems this time. They're working more together, which I like. They're not just sending a Lems on like a lone mission.
Game of Chess as Siege begins, where you just keep on adding more and more layers to make things harder. And I love again the artwork that has been done by Patch here. Honestly, people are just drawing lovely pictures when they come around to opening walls up. It's always the same.
He's done it the same a couple of times now, so it makes me think there is a purpose behind it. I'm not sure what it is, but
Didn't swap up any of the operators on the attacking side either.
Nope.
But yeah,
You can't.
I don't think you need to. I mean, you've got everything you want. I think 2 hard breachers is pretty nice, and then you brought a lot of explosives and a lot of clears. Maybe you want like an IQ, but I don't think you can really fit an IQ in there for the Valk cams.
Not these days. Not these days.
triangle. Weird, not.
Especially not on this patch. Holy fuck. I don't think I saw an IQ in a scrim for like 3 months.
So I'm holding my breath.
Yeah, IQ all of stage 2 is pretty bad.
Those concussions come out.
Just got nothing useful. No flashes, no nades, no smokes, nothing throwable. All this entire meta focused on was what can be thrown, and what catches things that are thrown, and what needs to be destroyed by things that are thrown.
Yeah. GSM rocked a tiny bit of IQ, but even as like the IQ team of stage 1, it fell off hard for stage 2.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like they either win the round or they don't. Like, yeah, of course. Like, someone walks away the victor.
So Psycho challenges for Pasha, but does get traded by WAG.
Attacking round in their hands if they keep this up. But BDS says, I want to level things out as they usually do.
I think VP is just a little surprised, to be honest, by the amount of, I guess, opposition they're facing on very simple tasks. But again, it boils down to map control. Like, they're trying to ignore a lot of what BDS is attempting to do on the roam.
Right.
And it's just, it works when it gets to this point, when they brute force it through doorways, but they start the brute force from a man disadvantage every time. And again, map control, right? Did anyone from VP at any point during that round go underneath?
I didn't see it.
Right?
don't think
Like, it's, they're trying very desperately to do as minimal of an insertion as possible, and it is fucking them hard because Oregon is not the map where you do it. You need to take control, maintain map control on all 3 maps we've seen so far. Like,
Yeah.
Coast is a map where you can easily do minimal takes. Cafe is a map where you can do minimal takes. Like, there's maps that set you up for it and will let you do it, but like these 3 maps are just not it. And I don't know why the avoid has become like the go-to for VP throughout this game.
I mean, the site clear was pretty good. There was a lot of utilities stacked up in site that they dealt with, I thought, pretty well. But then,
Yep, and that's the
they got
that's
shot
the
from below.
benefit of doing the avoid, right? Is you don't have to use that util on anything they've set off. They're set up offsite. They'll do shields and banshees and barbed wire and rotates and shit offsite, but if you don't go fuck with that, then all your utils for site.
Yeah.
Again, map control though is where the bodies can go, and where the bodies can go seem to be fucking them.
Yeah. I think this is the same sort of a laundry hold as they did round 1 as well. Looks the same.
But BDS seem to kind of just leave it open, which I think is a bit strange because the more time you can waste from the attackers, the better for you. And that's what reinforcing that wall off does. It forces them to use hard bridge. They might not even have any left over.
Starting with a Goyo shield on the rotate.
Or shoot some off from the side of blue bunker. So yeah,
Smoke still got his shield. Risher's used both Goyos, so what, one pillar? So the deep shield is going to be Brids. That's weird, especially if you're trying to play this multi-layer.
Yeah, usually you put the the Vulcan shield in elbow, right?
Yeah, you want the fire to be able to, well, firstly, fucking stop them from walking in, give you some time to reinforce if you're going to try and play the Rio, like, if you want to do the fallback. But if you're going to play this multi-layer, you don't need to reinforce the wall, but you want to put your shield that's going to do the least amount of damage to you on the inside, on your interior.
Yeah, the other Vulcan's actually freezer, it's not pillar.
Okay, so we're countering a little here
Yeah.
for BDS, and it looks like they're focusing a front take for VP. So it looks like this counter is actually going to work out really well. Again, this might have been something we've seen in a VOD. Maybe they do a back take for a tower take, and then they swap to a front take.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're a little too predictable in their order. Maybe their IGL calls things in a set order. Because it looks like there's not a lot of tower focus at all for VP this time around.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a focus on Freezer. And then sadly, maybe main stairs.
It was just Rask up in T2 making rotates through attic that I saw. Although Pasha's he's still gonna fuck around and get the meeting hatch. I guess that's an option for a late drop. It doesn't look like it's their focus though, and he's gonna die for it anyway. Yeah.
Wow.
Like fucking map control. Or fails top floor. There goes your Mav. So you took 3 hard breachers and one of them got obliterated. You still got WTG and Shockwave. They should have freezer hatch open by now. Don't know if they have laundry hatch open or if they're even going to.
I think losing the nades on Pasha is almost worse than losing the breaching torch.
I mean, what do you have all the clear for then? You know, Zoe's got, I think those are stuns left too, instead of impacts. There's a lot of shields remaining.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying, Rask, do everything for us. And that requires him to bounce around multiple places too. So they do end up getting the Goyo in the hallway.
Damn thing I've seen. Nope, just reinforcement. So they haven't changed that up.
Okay.
I'm watching a pixelated version.
I think
Interesting that BDS is putting Shaco in the back to watch the rat too. I'd rather put that gun in hallway. If you're shooting like that with an SMG-11, then does it really matter?
this main stairs push, I think, is really bad still. I don't like this at all. Especially when the utility's on this side. Like, I feel like the advantage of pushing main stairs is, like, you're expecting less utility. But this is where the utility was focused, so there's just kind of, you've got nothing now.
Usually with these front pushes, like, it is absolutely paramount that you have complete freezer control. If there's
Right.
anyone on the defense in freezer hallway at all for the entirety of the round, like, you've lost it. It's over. And those nades, like you said, are huge for being able to clear out freezer hall, and also just having, like, they didn't even get the back hatch entirely open. They were like, yo, we're gonna open this and make you think, oh, we're gonna flex back. It didn't get it open. They got halfway maved. Like, there's no threat there. They know all the pressure has to come from front at that point.
Why do you think there wasn't more, like, droning done by VP to sort of identify what was going on? Because, like, it seemed from our perspective, obviously we can see everything, that, like, coming in from construction would have been way better in that round.
Like I said, I think it's 2 different things. I think it could be VP just calling a set order. There are teams in IGLs who just are, shit, we did it for one of our games. We literally fucking game planned, like, what order we're going to do what takes and what order we're going to do what sites in. That could be it. It could also just be, again, they're trying to play the minimalist. They're trying to play the, you know, give ourselves as many options as possible, but never actually take any engagements. That's been kind of their MO for most of the game. So when your IGL calls that, you know, you're not droning far side, you're not droning construction. You might send a drone blue to see what's up for a late flank, but I'm very shocked by VP's constant committal to waiting until the very end to start an engagement with BDS. It seems like they're always playing from their back foot on the attack. And Oregon's a defensive sided map, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
there are ways to accomplish your tasks and make these rounds even closer. Like, that was a flawless round. Like, VP didn't have a chance from beginning to end. Like, there are ways to make those rounds a little more favorable in those brute force moments where they seem to ball the fuck out on site. It's kind of like Empire, where they just storm the objective and they get the kills they shouldn't. Like, VP has that, but they're not setting themselves up mid and early round to be in a position to make it even remotely possible.
So now VP has a Ying, and they swapped it in for the Habana, which makes me feel like it's going to be very difficult to, like, take in through showers. I guess they can go from above up here, and they do still have the Maverick.
I've never even seen this before, so I'm learning.
I've seen this with an exothermic charge, using an exothermic charge on the floor up here, and it opens.
Oh yeah,
this.
I've seen the thermite. I've never seen the Mav do this. This is cool. I'm about that. I'm very okay with that. Holy.
Yeah, we've seen it used to great effect
Yeah, I'm stealing that.
recently, and especially in the last
It's mine now.
Pick
That's...
two.
I don't know why you're peeking that, Pasha, but
Yeah.
Pasha.
there goes your Mav, and there go your fucking nades again.
That's okay if you ask me, because he's done his job, and Rafal is dancing
Someone
I
didn't get
know.
their jacket.
over in showers. And
I guess.
that's a heck of a long time here for VP to work with. They've evacuated or showers.
So they have Showers control, but without the presence. I still think VP is
Wow.
just gonna try and like sneak in a fucking like dining wall plant here, but again, they should push through, get Showers Hall control, and actually get
Like,
a default plant in and dining.
they're in Showers. They killed a Lems while he was trying to reinforce Showers to the hallway. So that's kind of unfortunate. I like that Ying play, though. I like that a lot.
It worked out pretty well, honestly. I'm surprised they didn't have another ADS in Showers Hall to collect that, though. That's what I mean. Like, Renshiro still got the angle from up top with a 2.0. They're gonna have to go in for the default plant. I don't think Brig can stop it. I think they might actually get this now.
The only thing is that hatch. They just need to not plant. Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, you can plant. This is the default plant. You can smoke it out, but 20 seconds. How many smokes does he have? And why
Shockwave.
Shockwave's-
He took like
yeah,
90 HP from that first smoke.
yeah. I don't really know what he's doing there. Looks like he's gonna get it down.
They're okay.
Jesus. Eh, fucking. It isn't pretty, but they don't ask how many. They just ask. Or sorry, they only ask how many. They don't ask how it's done.
Alrighty.
That's a weird one. That's one, honestly, where I can see mistakes on both sides, but realistically, I'm just a little more thankful that VP, whether forced to by the objective itself or just because of a change in ideology, was willing to take a direct fight earlier.
Yeah, I like the creativity in that take. Both with like the Mavericking from above, then you got some Ying play getting into Showers. The whole Showers like situation kind of made my head hurt. But like at the end, it worked out.
It did, and it's one of those things where if it works, is it stupid? But I would have liked to see for VP again just a little more control over that Showers hallway. Maybe someone outside the Showers window applying pressure. Maybe someone bottom white window so Shaiko can't get that trade, and it's a 4v2 pushing into the objective, right? Like, there were good things, but there were a lot of things missed and a lot of steps skipped, and that's what I keep coming back to with VP on their attacks. Their defenses could be otherworldly, but right now their attacks just seem incomplete, is probably the best way to describe them.
Yeah. They're still fitting the Ying into this lineup, which I think is good. You're losing the Hibana, but you've still got like Maverick Thermite, so you're probably okay.
I think if you've gone to the trouble to ban Wamai and you wanted to bring in Ying, I probably would have brought it out earlier.
Yeah.
But like, if it's working, there's no point in saving it as a fucking surprise thing for 2 rounds. Like, if it's gonna work for 6 rounds, then use it for 6 rounds.
The reason that is so default is back in the old iteration of Oregon, you used to play a shield in that exact spot, even though it's a little different now with the remake and whatnot.
Oh, this is still in the old patch. She doesn't have the hard breach tool.
No.
That's another good reason to bring a lot of those weirder operators now. I think like the top 3 like weird operators that never really got play before the hard breach tool that I think are actually going to be good are going to be Ying, Lion, and then hopefully more Capitao. But I could honestly see a lot of Zero with the fucking hard breach tool being used now.
Am I crazy or didn't Capitao like lose his hard breach charge?
I think he's losing it on the test server like tomorrow or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's had hard breach charge for a while.
He's had it since it came out. Yeah, he lost his stuns for it, which was irritating. Is he getting his stuns back? Because that would be dope.
I don't know.
And then the triangle part of it is that you can only crouch through on the right-hand side or from the left if you're looking at it from this perspective, but you can still see, if you were to go onto the stairs, over on a more standing position by having the triangle delve out a little higher.
You know what my friend has now done? He's even drawn a diagram and sent it to me of why it might be a triangle over a circle.
No.
I feel nerds as friends.
Oh.
I mean,
That
we are all
is
friends
well
with Hap and
worth
his
it.
stats, so fine.
Yeah, I mean, we are friends. I mean, that's a loose term.
Wow,
Acquaintances,
okay, he's
but-
not even here to defend himself.
Do you have volume on the game or no?
That's not fair.
No.
I see. Jess and Des are doing a good cast.
Playing around Trophy Door. We saw
Ah.
Secret do this. Smoke and Candela execute when
Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't turned an EU broadcast off mute all year.
Really?
They have to.
Really.
Go for the same thing again.
I like Jess and Des. I think they've been doing a great job.
The vertical's absolutely
I think Des is
They've
really
been
enjoyable.
okay. I think EU talent pool needs some work at the very least.
Yeah.
There could be some changes.
For a lot of them, it's their first season.
This is true. This is very true.
Basically, they'll move Flynn to Europe and get him casting from Paris.
Lamau.
So they got some pressure here. They got a couple coming in from Trophy, one big window that just died, and then one addict that is getting kills. I like it. I like Wag. Look at him frag.
The brute force is working, but they... Oh, they do win it. Okay. I got scared there.
As soon as they started bringing Ying, they started winning rounds.
Mm-hmm. Just helps out with that brute force late push that they like to do.
Totally.
The more confusion you can sow in those kind of fucking 5v5s and 4v4s, the better as well. It's actually something that I don't think comes up enough in, I guess, even just people analyzing the game, but just talked about on broadcast as well, is like the communications are very different in a team, in a 5v5 versus like a 1v1 or like a 2v3 or something like that. Like the comms when a Ying Candela comes out in like a 4v4 situation like that, I imagine were just pure fucking ass. Like it was just screaming. Like that's what it turns into, because it's everyone going, I'm full white, or I can't see, or I don't have this, do you have it? Like it's all everyone just trying to reconfirm with each other, and that much, like even that much of a disruption in the comms is enough to take advantage. Like if you lose sight of where a person is, you lose audio on where they are, and it takes 5 seconds to like readjust, it's still going to take another second for you to get your bearings. Like that amount of confusion and stuff in the comms, it's so beneficial to be the attacking team, not saying a fucking thing and just going and just saying who you kill.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think most of the time you think of like late chaotic rounds, you're sort of like giving the edge to the defenders. But when you think about like the communication that must be going on, certainly there's an advantage to the attackers there.
And there's a lot of coordination between utility these days on defense as well, between nitro cells and smoke grenades and BPs and getting on evil eyes and, you know, all the different interactive utility you have to use on the defense, and the play style in which it gets coordinated with other defenders on your team. Like it requires a lot of communication, and in those hectic situations you just don't have that luxury. You just will not.
Yeah. It's a pretty heavy roam for a strat that seems, based on the operators, to be focused a lot on like the utility chilling down in the bomb site.
Well, that's one of the better things about the util dump ops, is that they really are just place it and leave it.
Yeah.
Like, you can just fuck off and they're good. So if I'm WTG, I'm mad.
Yeah.
But if I'm BDS, I'm laughing my ass off, because that nade shouldn't have done what it did, but that was funny as hell.
The fuck's that?
Honestly,
look at those legs.
So that's his dead body. So the reason that nade went off is because he was holding it, and his dead body dropped to the floor, and the momentum of the nade slowly carried it down the hallway an inch away from the range of the ADS.
Wow.
Blew up, and the explosion of the Goyo shield blew up both ADSs.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that's what I said. If I'm WTG, I'm fucking mad. But if I'm BDS, I'm laughing my ass off.
That's a lot of utility cleared out.
It is. The
Minute
Maverick
10
getting
too.
into the bunker wall is good too.
Yeah. This is a lot of time, I feel. I don't know where the fourth player is.
I think it was, what was it, Milan flanking? Yeah. Oh no, they're all back now.
No, the fourth attacker. Oh, he's there now.
Oh yeah, back on pillar. Guess who's coming down tower stair?
Yeah.
So the thing with the Cades here is going to be irritating. They're just going to use the Mav to poke holes in a bunch of shit. I imagine that's an early Nitro, but it still worked. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine Rafael's going to try and play these holes on the bunker wall, and then I would have liked him to try and go and open up the single wall, but it doesn't look like he's going to have the time. And Shockwave is like, this is what I hate about doing Mav holes in the bunker wall is that when people prone underneath it in a VOD, you look so fucking stupid. But in reality, it's like you just have no idea with all the pandemonium going on that it's happening.
Yep. What can they do to stop this? They wasted their C4. They should have smoke, but it's not hitting. That sucks.
Yeah, the early C4, and is that a Goyo shield on box door? If that didn't get shot as well, oh no, it's just a weird body, I guess. Oh, he's defusing.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh. Wow.
Oh.
Good cover from the disabler.
Mm-hmm. That's what I kind of meant by it's an early Nitro. It's like, you're in a 4v4, there's 30 seconds left, you killed an Ashe.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you have a slight man advantage, but like if you can't stop a plant, then you're fucked. Like, they were out of smokes, they had no more Nitros in position, and they had no one to stop. And that was a good plant spot as well for whoever picked it up there.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to plant like on the edge of that door there, you're very exposed to a hallway swing, but as long as you have someone on pillar, you should feel like you're never going to be swung from hallway. And then the freezer door won't be able to see it if you plant inside like box door like that. It's when people go in for the default plant inside that freezer can see them, but freezer door can't see the box door there.
The disable angle, though, was quite strong as well. Like going from it on the other side of the wall.
I'm fairly confident that's not even possible anymore with the new diffuser mechanics.
Really?
That long arm? Yeah, I don't think that long arm's possible anymore. And that plant spot isn't possible either. Yeah, when they changed the diffuser placement about where it could be placed in the rules and all that stuff, it feels like the exterior of the bomb sites have all shrunk down by like at least half a foot in terms of where you can plant.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the putting the bomb down animation is super fucking fast right now for no reason, but I like it because I get killed putting it down less.
Castle strat's kind of fun. You put one on the door to the front lobby, one to the back stairs, to the tower stairs, that is. I didn't see the third.
I'd imagine dining door to kitchen. This is pretty standard. We usually see a lot of castle come out in a dining kitchen or a kitchen meeting. Looks like BDS is just soloing. Yeah, they're ISOing tower. They don't want to do anything with garage or a split take. So I'd say there's like 3 different attacks you can do that have been pretty popularized now for this site, which is the full tower that they're doing here. You can do a tower like garage lobby split, so you're opening up the back tower walls and the right split wall and going in for a plant there. Or you can do like a split of like a lobby and junk clear, kind of like you do for a dining kitchen clear. That one doesn't usually work out that well because of the lack of control you have up top and white stairs always being a nuisance, but it is doable.
I see. Yeah, I mostly see just like long angles being played from the towers.
Yeah, the small tower peak, I don't know, it worked for like a week and then everyone read into it.
Wow, okay.
It's a bold peak, really unnecessary, but...
I feel like you don't expect to die like that very often, though.
Not really, especially not a guy sprinting around on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm sure the audio cue was too tantalizing not to peek, but restraint probably would have left them in a even man count here. It's a plant going down on stage with a minute left, and they don't know it.
Yeah, that's really... They had 2 bulletproof cameras, too. So
They
clearly they
did.
got cleared. Had a lot of shields. Okay, kind of a sneak plant.
Hmm. And it didn't really seem like there was much VP could do about it, even if like that window peek upstairs happens. Like they had full attic control, so I don't know how you stop that in a retake of attic in
Yeah.
7 seconds. The smoke had no fucking clue, but also it's a smoke walking into an M4. Like, I'm sorry, he doesn't win that fight on stage unless he's God.
Yeah.
Even then, the guy pulls off the plant and trades it and replants. There was nobody below with a nitro. I believe that's what the Malusi was trying to eventually do, was get below into like box to nitro up box hatch to stage. But the timing was never really going to work, so he just bailed out to tower stair. I don't know. It just seemed like there was nothing VP could do in that position because of the attack for BDS. Like once that attic control's in place, you are not having a fun time. That Cade Claw got cleared really early too.
I feel like a meeting's kind of bad.
Oh no, meeting's a great site.
Yeah?
You just gotta play it a certain like. You got to make sure that you're always in a position to stop a plant, and it didn't look like VP was anywhere near being able to that round.
Right. Chat's giving you a massive compliment. They've said that you sound a lot like Hunter Cash.
Ah,
Sometimes what you need is a hero. You need someone to stand up.
Exactly.
Scruff the neck and drag it over the finish line a few times where you may have struggled previously.
sounds like he's on a flip phone from the 2000s. That's about right.
Until that last one, which brings us up to 4 apiece. So it's far from a far cry.
Excuse you, these are Bose headphones. God, how dare you? That's an M870.
The Jaeger's running around with a shotgun again.
That is. He's playing a Vulcan shield up top, I think. What is he doing?
Moving.
Pasha goes and like picks it, like goes and looks at his ADSs, and Jess is like, "I like those ADSs," and then he picks them up and moves both of them.
I was gonna say I like them too. They
Shit.
didn't look bad. I like that for the small tower shield.
Maybe they're calling it the full push is coming from Big Tower though, from meeting.
That's probably why.
Yeah. They're just moving all the utility right now. BDS could just like double bait it and go back over to small tower.
No doubt, Tempera and BDS are good friends, and they've got some ideas for each other. I'm sure they're talking. They're saying this could work out pretty well. There's no hammer.
Yeah, because Tempera are feeding their enemies. Yeah, Tempera are feeding their enemies ideas. Yeah, that's how it works.
I guarantee you they're friends. Guarantee you they talk.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and say that yeah, they're feeding them freebie information, but it's not going to be the Tempera-esque push. Get what T2's game, he says. And now they will get open the wall that we did expect them to, considering the rotate of all of the defender utility over towards the kitchen wall and the meeting wall, rather.
So I guess he's playing shoddy because he wants to play these windows really close.
Fuck, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird one.
Hurts to lose the carbine.
It does. And it's like, I guess he's positioned to stop a green hall push, but you can see BDS just remotely does not give a fuck about green hall right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they even know where he is, and there you go.
Wow.
So
At least he doesn't have to use his gun.
something I kind of am still confused by, but was much more confused by before. This is a kitchen dining defense, and yet we're going for like a tower meeting take with very minimal top clear. This usually doesn't work all that well for attackers, but
Yeah. I mean, they are pressuring top now. It kind of took them a minute, but I think they have most top control. There goes Shockwave as well.
this is the game-saving flank.
Well,
He's alone though.
yeah, I don't think he
Wanted to
wins
get the
this.
ace.
Ooh, ooh.
He's got 2 down.
I don't think you want to confirm those kills, if you're asked. Feels like a waste of your time.
You confirm the Zoe for sure. The
Oh,
second
yeah.
one, I think you still confirm because you don't want hard intel on you. I think the easiest thing to do is for them to have, like, because in that situation, they're both screaming he's in split.
ECS raid, welcome.
You confirm the kills and just fucking sprint. But I still think Shaiko gets there in time. Like, I don't. It's
Yeah.
close. I don't know. I think the worry is just that the down guys are going to call you out, or the Zoe's going to withstand and you're going to fucking cry.
Yeah. Welcome. from the ECS viewers. We're VOD reviewing it. BDS versus Virtus Pro. We got Flynn on the cast. Cast.
Where do I go now? Where's the last person coming from? And I actually heard some footsteps above him when he was first making his flank from around. So he probably would have known that he would be coming from some kind of stairway. But I mean, good effort either way. I mean, that was a big task.
I mean, to be fair, the player that you want left in A1 is probably going to be shot.
What's up, Benny?
It's the rehost. It's not like he's popping off a frag in every single round. Sometimes it just comes down.
We're getting raided by ECS.
Said earlier on, you either do it
Who?
or you don't. This is black and white.
I think it's a tier 3 league.
Let's see how round number 2
Dope.
shapes up. Virtus Pro heading back down.
Hell yeah.
Once again, BDS ever so slightly in the lead with that 5-4 scoreline. They are on the attacking side, but one more round would at the least guarantee that we go to overtime. And I said it earlier on, you just get the feeling that
Chat wants to know if you're VOD reviewing from bed.
deserves to go.
I am.
Nice.
I would love
I am very in bed. I have not left bed.
If it does go to OT, I think VP is starting defense from
What time did you wake up at today, Flynn?
will confirm that. Yes, VP is starting
Noon.
time on defense.
Well done.
Does that give them the
Thanks.
leg
I
up?
try.
But BDS
You know what?
has shown that they're
Ignoring time zones is when I woke up too.
smoke and mirrors, I'll be
There you
honest.
go.
They've been focusing on the plant round after round after round.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I'm not getting up at
Being
10.
shown in previous maps, and now that they're really focusing on it,
The early life.
they're damn good.
Mm-hmm.
What are those ADSs? What is that? That is bad.
Jess is criticizing these ADSs on elbow.
Destroy the shield and burn the player.
And I quote, that is bad.
Optimal positioning.
I mean,
If it comes back to bite them a little.
so the worry is that someone could slow walk and shoot them because of the angle.
Uh-huh.
Already said, right, I'm done with this. They've burned the shield out.
Alright, I think
They
they
got-
just exploded the shield
They
without
got blown
wasting
up. They got blown
ADSs.
up by the fucking shield anyway. It's like,
So,
Okay.
kind of bad. I would agree.
hey, the second one is just like too far back in general. I guess. I don't know. Like the ADS placement in there is really, it's personal. Like
Uh-huh.
it's not the most important thing in the world. They'll still have effect. They'll still do their fucking job, or they'll all get blown up at the same time like they always do.
I'm not sure, Des. I'm not sure how. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel with.
Hello.
these BDS
What are we
players
doing?
getting away with these kills and then not being
Does he have like an angle set up?
Without Flanker Supreme left alive in Rask, even with only one drone left.
I fucking hope so, because that's funny as hell if he does.
Wonder if BDS are ever gonna get punished.
He could like C4 his way into big tower too and go for like a flank down.
Think about the damage that a player
Yeah, and
or Milan could do. They know that they're there.
I don't
I
really know
don't
what his
think
strat is.
BDS. I don't think BDS is even going to go upstairs though. Look, like there are just
Yeah.
they are focusing bunker. They don't even give a fuck about meeting hatch because they got pillar control.
He did use
This
the
is gonna be a-
C4.
It's gonna be a two-man flank top. You've only got two
Uh-huh.
on site, so you need your boys on site to lock this shit down. They're not. Shockwave's down. It's all WTG.
Oh boy, Alems was watching it too.
This comes down to BDS. Oh, they're getting him up though. One of the flankers came back. Pasha came back. So
Yeah.
Milan's alone. This is winnable. This is winnable.
There's a lot of air jabs on the tower stairs though.
There are. I wish I knew how many
Wow.
smokes were left, and everyone's just peeking and dying.
They get one as well. Pasha up from the side of the corridor finds another, but someone's behind. No, it's Alem from the top around pillar. WTG strikes back, but it's a 1 versus 2 against Brede. The clutch got himself and
Feels like they got in pretty quick there.
they moved themselves through to match in series point 6.
I think one of the things that fucked up VP for that flank, because it looked like it was going to do some damage. I think the problem is that they weren't expecting BDS to completely skip getting meeting hatch. Like, they got their pillar control, they got their two-man advantage, and they were just like, yeah, fuck it. Why do we want meeting hatch? And it worked out for them, because I think the whole flank was predicated on Milan busting out of attic, and either, like you said, hitting tower and using that hatch to their advantage, because they're planting in the fucking door. Like, that's a denial of plant 3 easy kills if he gets in the hatch. But it was reinforced. Like, he can't do anything with it at that point if they never come up and open it.
Mean to. I pulled a, caliber Jacob-esque thing.
Like the cake of actually. Cake
Yeah,
of.
cake of.
That's a hard one to say. Cake
It
of,
is.
yeah.
It's
Jess is quoting Caliber Jacob now.
So,
Caliber cake of.
Jaliber cake of. Thank you. I pulled a little bit of whatever he manages to pull out almost without.
That's an
love
interesting
it.
choice.
And I may have they still can win the next 2 rounds, propel themselves into overtime, but that's 2 rounds in a row after a fierce match
This map ends up 8-7, I believe.
It's a cool order, I think.
It is.
Ugh.
The last 3 rounds have gone. They've all gone the way of pit against the BDS side with meeting kitchen, kitchen dining, and supply laundry all going their way. So it's. I don't understand entirely why they're avoiding kids' dorms, to be honest, as well. We haven't seen Virtus Pro take this there. They played the other 3 sides.
Sure, VP have run 11 or I guess 5 rounds on defense without ever going to dorms.
My worry is that
I did not catch that. Wow.
I didn't either, but Ace just or Des just mentioned it. Ace is not on this cast.
No.
It's quite close to order, but what I'm saying is the most played is most played out of all of the sites that you have to pick from on this particular
VP have only won 1 defensive round.
initial pick, opening pick on the Ren Shearer.
The flank's better this time though.
My worry is that maybe VP have run into this and they've said to
It's 2
themselves,
frags gone.
we don't want to go to a site that BDS have watched us play 15 plus times.
Well, here we go. My good lord, Virtus Pro.
Holy shit.
They have completely
Rask, did he just get both those kills on big tower stairs?
in record time. Well,
Okay. Sure, it's over.
second rounds. How about the one of the quickest? Okay, that happened.
Not bad.
In the blink of an eye, I was trying to finish my explanation of that the top floor being VP's most played side. All of a sudden, the round is won. So, okay, maybe I've reversed it. Here we go. I'm working my magic. Reverse ways here, Des. I am working my magic.
So you said it was 2 overtime maps, so it ends here, yeah?
No, it's 3. It goes all 3 overtime.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I think this is the longest map too. This one 8-7.
Boy, I was looking for the reason VP fucked it all up, but looks like they're gonna win again.
Yep.
Meeting kitchen again, still avoiding top 4 like you were saying.
Good night, chicken.
And honestly, I'd say that's just probably scrim results, if I had to guess. I don't
Yeah.
think they see something inherently like fundamentally wrong with the bomb site that no one else in the world sees. I'd say it's probably just they get railed on this site in scrims and finally said they had enough of it and weren't going to take it to game day.
Maybe they think dorms is fine, but they're just really big on meeting and dining.
I mean, they might be saving something, but at this point, I would have brought it out by now.
Yeah, this is opening game of the major too, where VP hadn't qualified yet, so this is a really important
Yeah.
game. You can't really save.
Yeah.
Quite clearly 2-0 a few of us said at the start. Absolutely not the case. And I'll be happy to see whichever way this game goes. We'll see if round number 12 here in Oregon takes us through to overtime to the best of 3 single rounds that we deserve, or if BDS will be the heartbreakers here.
I also think Oregon's a lot like Cafe, where all 4 bomb sites can be played. It really
Yeah.
just kind of is your preference of which ones you want to use.
I mean, all 4 can be played, but I think you want to. Most teams at least are taking 2 over the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
VP have really surprised me here. They've put in a lot of work against a team that has otherwise been pretty indomitable.
It's kind of funny how much we see like ADS stacking with the new ADSs. Like you wouldn't really see this with the previous ADSs.
Very last moment that they can. They've
True.
got to go back to meeting. I'm wondering what this decision is really about, and I think last time they played this, they kind of peaked in areas they didn't want to peak. They lost lives.
And the clear game is just as a whole has changed a lot with Wumai.
Yeah.
It used to be like you would know where an ADS is or where an ADS should be, so you would know where you could throw things and test things and clear things and all that jazz. But ever since Wumai came out, it was just like you throw something, it's a 50-50 shot of it's getting caught by something or not. So
Clear
I think
everything.
there's just a lot less. There's a lot less experimentation going on with things being thrown in new places these days.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly just kind of wish they would delete this drone hole entirely.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bunker's a strong position, but it's like, I don't know. It's a decent position. It doesn't need this fucking drone hole conundrum bullshit.
Yeah, it's one of the most it's one of the biggest things that makes this bomb site viable, I feel.
Yeah,
A defender being able to play there. Otherwise, this bomb site's really hard to hold.
it is.
Without Shaiko on side, and again, very few drones left on the field. This yet to be
One of the hardest things to do as well is trying to hold this bomb site with a Maverick up on the attack, because your
Mhm.
attic walls just turn into fucking Swiss cheese, and there's
Mhm.
really nothing you can do about it.
Yep, and we can see on the outlines there's constantly an attacker on that, attic watching the rotate.
Yeah, that's why there's no defenders even trying. Like,
Yeah.
there's no point in even going up there. You're not going to get anything for it but a bullet in the head.
So who hits the miracle shot to stop this plant then, and like save this
I think,
round? Because they have to win it.
I
I'm
think
pretty sure.
WTG smokes it out, yeah, but Brit's going to stick it
It's
anyway,
a post
because,
plant.
yeah,
They catch him on the exit.
it's not bad. Still 2v3 for assault rifles. Yeah, I still like this.
Okay.
Oh, well.
And Lems is off in no man's land. He thinks there's somebody up here, I guess.
He wants hash control for diffuser watch. He knows that nobody's coming for
Uh.
top. Although, as I say that, WTG comes.
Oh my
And the
god.
Lem says
Oh my
no
god.
idea.
Dude, that was almost a disaster.
Yep,
I guess Posh had a lot of time. He didn't have to jump on plants until he knew that was safe.
true.
You did it damn justice, Des. I got the goosebumps. I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, baby, let's
So
go.
who gets defense starting OT? After a rehost, we will find out. Once he gets CP.
Well, looks like Verse Pro's starting on defense.
Yep.
Whew, I don't want them to come back to our cameras because I might sit here like, well, come back to our
Okay, let me skip past all this.
Again, that was good. Round 13. This has been the 41st round of the day. It's unbelievable.
Oregon with these bans gets very samey. It feels like a lot of these, pretty much all these bomb sites have been like, we're gonna bring like Vulcans, we're gonna bring Malusi, we're gonna bring Jaeger, we're gonna sit behind utility.
Yeah, that's kind of all you really need to do.
Yeah.
I'm praying and hoping that Ras doesn't put his ADSs. Yeah, there we go, buddy. Yeah, put him out towards the elbow.
Okay, that's an ADS.
Near the shield. It's not going to catch them. There's only going to be one there this time, though. Maybe they're making. Oh no, he's changed his mind.
There we go.
I mean, I could see that ADS working if you're gonna play the shield pretty aggressive and punish anybody who tries to swing on it.
That VP likes to rotate their stuff towards where they.
I'd keep that one a little closer to me.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is a drone to ping it, and all you have to do is fucking quick peek one tap at it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, there's not much of a chance, unless you're on land, to be able to hit that shot from behind the shield.
Right.
It's a question for me of how many of those they
Oh, looks like Ras is going to juggle them. I kind of like that, too.
They're out already.
BDS did lose almost
I wish Rask would have had more opportunity to juggle instead of fucking it that hard.
Sometimes they were successful, sometimes they were not. Rask's coming through split was probably the biggest one to remember. Shut down by Shaiko in the one
Milan's really just having a good time running around the whole map.
of those.
This whole game.
I was thinking in the club, I was like, as close as this has been, it's missed the kind
He's
of
got to get his steps in.
screamer moments that you expect from a series like this. But I think on this map, we have got those in spades. Round number 6, I've got marked down as one to rewatch. Round number 12, another one to rewatch. It's just been unbelievable.
Oh my god! Thank God Rask ran.
You can see all the coordination of the utility right now is fucking up VP. That claw got off nicely, but the ADS juggle in bunker didn't
Mhm.
work. You got the ADS stuck on the wall, so you can't put down a claw, so you almost get bunker wall open. Like, there's a lot of very close plays happening right now for VP that are costing them.
Rask almost like didn't realize it was getting opened. I don't know if he should have pushed that.
Oh, Rask getting a little bit
I think when you hear it opening, by all means, Mav's gonna have a torch in his hand. He's probably got one covering. If you kill the cover, you get 2 kills.
Mm-hmm.
BD at the disadvantage. They are on the defensive side. They've got a
It's Shaiko covering. I don't know what to say, man. Like, you're just not gonna have a fun time.
mention around the drone.
That's interesting
That was
Habana usage.
Just 3.
Yeah, those Kairos did not hit the intent.
But they've got to be careful.
Although I
think
do
that's-
think that little slit in the middle is vaultable now.
And in fact, it's not just a couple. There are 3 available for Virtus.
Don't know how much of a difference that's gonna make ultimately. There goes those
Yeah.
early nitros again.
Guess what Rafale's there to replace 40 seconds left. They desperately want
Still 2 toxic babes. There goes the second. But it also
It's too
missed.
short.
Dude, Wag has missed a lot of these toxic babes now.
Yeah, you got to get it on the door frame.
Dude, that C4 hit the like shelving
Top.
unit as well.
Yep. That quickly turned into a shit show for BDS
Yeah,
in
what
terms of
happened?
gunfights. They all got swung on, it looked like, from the bunker wall.
Wow.
Sorry, he doesn't win that, right? Thank you. I really don't know who's going to win this game. Well, I do know, but
I was about to say.
looking at these rounds, I don't know who should win, basically.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, like, so VP goes to the attack, they lose this attack because BDS has been good in the defense. So we go back to a VP defense where they can't go downstairs. Do I trust VP's, like, meeting kitchen hold after seeing it fail so horridly? And do I trust BDS's attack through tower and meeting if it ends up being kitchen dining again?
Mm-hmm.
And my answer to all of that is no. So I don't know. It's like, if I'm either of these teams right now, I'm not confident. The Ying swap off the Therm from the triple breach. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
The Ying was good for them. Let's see how it
Mhm.
fails. Basement defense. Okay.
My worry is that WTG gets a little bit too excited and then tries to sort of use his candelas and his smokes for kills rather than the execute. I think if BP plays smart,
I do like Ying coming down like the lobby stairs though. I think she can make that work.
Lobby stair would be interesting. I'm thinking the Ying probably gets used for either freezer or bunker, depending on like where they push. If they're going for another tower side push, then clearing out bunker with that fucking Ying that's free.
Yeah.
Same thing with freezer as well. If you could pre-cook a Ying and have it detonate short, those individual canisters will clear ADSs and magnets individually.
Mm.
That'd be a very quick freezer ADS clear, and you can get a nade in there from the MAV as well. That could be a very quick take through freezer if they wanted to.
It's interesting. I don't think of Ying as like a utility, like an ADS clearer.
She can be really good at ADS clear.
Yeah, they're gonna open up the lobby hatch.
And the reason I say that is BDS almost every time they have Shaiko over towards pillar position, they've almost every time been able to hold off on, it doesn't matter what opponent it's been. So I don't mind them coming up with a counter. My problem is that they need to do it methodically, tactically, and fully informed with intel.
Okie doke. It is all on the south side. It always makes me nervous. I can't think of many teams that have won an execute playing down the south side without kills being a massive component of their execute. Whereas you look towards the top side, it's baiting out C4s, it's baiting out smokes, it's sticking the plan because you can get away with that without having to commit into a bunch of gunfights. That's what makes me nervous. We'll see if they make it work. We'll see if there's some new plan in mind here that plays around that Ying. It would make sense given they've brought it along a couple of times now. And hey, there's the electric door. Goodbye.
Halfway mark. This is either match point for VP or max overtime for BDS. This either
We haven't really seen WTG.
or BDS read them like a book like they've done on several.
Not a lot, no.
I'm not sure if he's with the rest of the team in freezer.
And then we literally go as far as this entire game can go and has gone.
No clue.
No, he's up in like
Nice.
dining.
Okay. Yeah.
So presumably he'll come freezer or something.
They've got freezer hall cleared out. They just need pressure on the hallway. They need their front push to start doing something.
First
And they need to
Kendel's
collapse
freezer.
here.
I don't.
Alright.
What's the point of Kendeling freezer there? I guess you're gonna drop in case somebody was in. Yikes.
It's not what you want.
That's how it fails.
That is how it fails.
I feel like if you have
I
a
didn't think-
drone in front of him, that doesn't happen.
True. I also think the preemptive Candela is nice for sound cover because he's going to drop the hatch, so they don't want him. They don't want the people in the hallway knowing about it. But get that fucking second Candela out, and a drone would have been nice. Yeah. All right, round 15.
No analyst, no fan, intense fan of the game sits here and watches this and says, oh yeah, BDS or VP deserves to win. No one can sit there in their right mind and say that either of these teams deserve to win. Because it's literally coming down. Their fate is decided on one round. After playing a slaughtering
Dorms
match
for the first time? That's fun.
all overtime.
Ooh, and they lose it.
Yeah, they get
What a
fucking...
horrible decision.
I mean, in hindsight.
Remember, chat. If it works, it's not stupid. But if it doesn't work, we get to ridicule it for hours on a broadcast. That's the casting rule.
Yo, it's their best side, statistically, almost.
Apparently, statistically, this is like Virtus Pro's best site, according to the casters.
Then I have no idea why they're not running it.
They went to meeting, they went to kitchen, they went to supply, but they did not touch the top floor. And now we go to the top floor as the place they stake 4 hours.
You're gonna fight 3 shields, 2 evil eyes, and 3 banshees.
Comes down to 1 round on a site that BDS have not seen them play, and Virtus Pro have not had a run at once. This is gonna be spicy.
This is the biggest risk for the biggest reward. And I have a feeling, statistically, things looking pretty good for VP. Don't do it, Milon. Oh, okay. Whew. My heart broke because I thought he'd bash the window and he'd be read like a book. We saw that before when Pasha went to the window of Kid's window and just got absolutely slayed.
Ross is probably staying down below?
It doesn't matter who
No.
at this point.
Is it everybody on site then?
Just slowly watching these drones pat around the map, work out exactly what BDS want to do. I
And
think
you
they'll
pour
probably do a pinch push for the most part.
BDS going for like a
Do this,
tower
do
big
this,
window
try to
split.
Open up attic, then go open up bedroom. But at this point, I mean, I barely want to cast anymore. I just want to be a spectator because I'm just breathless.
Welcome to the stream, NVM. I think Flynn is reading chat.
With a bunch of friends watching this, you would be screaming
Yep.
when it comes to watching this back. You'd be like, no, Shaika, what the hell? Oh my god, VP. You just lose your mind. And that is what we're going to do, no doubt, when it comes
So Rask is now down below. He's had to put something up above. Shaiko is self-droning so he can try to find this. Most of the team is big tower, but after they open it, they're going to rotate probably the closet or something.
That's good. There's a lot of pressure big. I think they're all rotating. Like, they're just doing a tower and big window split.
Yeah, you're right.
Kids window here, given that is a massive power position, it makes total sense. But I'm wondering where Brede is going because we've already said how objective focused BDS have been this entire game. Keep a very close eye on him.
Don't want to deal with the impact tricking of the closet. I think that's probably valid.
I believe they're trying to get rid of Rask below them. I think Shaiko initially droned him in kitchen and now Rafal.
They are focusing Rask pretty hard.
Is this because they don't want Rask to do what he did last time and just come running up behind them? I think so. He has a C4 in hand instead of impact, so that's
Which makes sense. You don't want him coming up white stairs if you're like coming in through the or even playing like the angles from below if you're trying to get in big window.
And end up coming down below for him. Yeah, he's got kill holes and security to see big, so
Yeah.
they need to keep him out of there.
Russ is still sat down. He could still be that kryptonite to the Superman that is Shaiko. You just don't
Kids repel is pretty dangerous these days, but he's getting away with it.
Shaiko is still hunting for him here, and no matter what they've dedicated towards kitchen, he has managed to slither his way into.
I think Shaiko kind of needs to do more to take down Rask. He's playing kind of scared. I guess he will get it here if he pushes with his team.
I guess. There's the opener for the tower push. Through.
Lems finds another one, and then Shaiko kills Rask. Wow.
Attic, but they're still like, oh, they're just losing on fights. And the attic push. There it is. Flawless.